wanted to just touch base about the um, South Africa, and I may touch on other topics as well. We may watch some other videos, but I wanted to just touch on that really. Greetings and welcome. Welcome to Citizen Air, the platform where we speak truth to power. Let me just make sure I've got you on there so that when you see me, you can join me as well. It's a bit of a late one. It's been hectic doing one or two things. So let me just check. I want to just make sure I check something. So let's have a look at this now. It's very, very important that we understand it. Where is it? Where do I go? 1 second, please. Just checking one or two things before I go too far. As ever, please help us share the broadcast. I wanted to make sure that I can leave a comment. Greetings all. So I'm just going to make sure we check it up a little bit. Okay, let's make sure we get this right. Okay, so I'll make sure you can hear me all good. All right. Hello, greetings and help. Welcome to Season A, the platform where we speak truth to power. Let's have a look. Greetings and help. Welcome. I'll make sure that you can hear me proper, good and proper. I don't want to. That's feeding back. So give me a minute. Greetings all. Please like, share. Please like. Please like. Please subscribe. Sorry, subscribe. Hit the like button. Hit the like button. And share. Thanks. And share. Thanks. So greetings and welcome. Welcome to Citizen Air, the platform where we speak truth to power. I'm going to pin that up. So pin. So just want to do one more thing quickly. I'll put the link on there for you to subscribe immediately as well. So to make it easier, you can see the link if it will work. It may not work. I'm going to try that. Greetings and welcome. Welcome to Citizen AY, the platform where we speak truth to power. Okay, greetings and welcome. It's a pleasure having you join us. Yes, we're going to talk about South Africa, and it's very, very important. Thank you for joining us. You're listening to Citizen AY, the platform where we speak truth to power. Just give me 1 second, and then we'll go live. And we'll be going to be doing the broadcast both on TikTok and on YouTube. Good evening. Okay, so let me just check this right quick. Please, as you're coming in, give us a thumbs up, share the broadcast, help us with more people. You are listening to Citizen AY, the platform where we speak truth to power. It's a pleasure having you join us. If you're joining us for the first time, please go ahead and give us a thumbs up, help us reach more people. We really do need your support. It is of immense importance. I hope I'm saying this doing it right. Yes, it is right. Okay, so just give me 1 sec. Make sure we're in the right direction. I want to get the information so that I can give you the right information about this platform and how you can help us grow. As you're watching, plus, of course, give us a thumbs up, help us reach more people. Okay. Okay, so customize. Let's have a look at what we can see here. So please, we're going to talk about South Africa, and you'll be hearing it shortly. There are a lot of things that they're doing that is really clearly not something we agree with. But at the same time, we can see from both sides. You know, we see it from both sides. We see what the concerns are, and it's valid as it is. We still, however, want them to really look at things in a much more holistic way. You know, is it helpful? Is it, you know, that kind of thing? So go ahead and subscribe to us on YouTube right now. Yeah, thank you very much. Give us a thumbs up. I really appreciate you. Okay, just want to make sure. I just cannot find what I'm looking for right now. I don't know why it's doing that. I should normally be able to get to it, but I just cannot get to it right now. I'm trying to find the points where you can actually click on the broadcast so you can actually share it with family and friends. as you're watching, of course, give us a thumbs up. And we're going to shortly be live on YouTube, TikTok as well. So let's see. Don't know what's going on today. I don't understand what's going on today. Today is a little bit of a funny one, but we will get there nonetheless. We will get there nonetheless. I don't quite know why it's not letting me see what I would normally see, but okay. We will put that aside. Okay, so we're gonna go now onto YouTube, TikTok, and then we will begin. Thank you for joining. As you're coming, of course, give us a thumbs up, help us with more people. And we are going to go live on TikTok now, right now. Greetings, welcome. You are listening to Citizen AY, the platform where we speak truth to power. It's a pleasure having you join us. If you're joining us for the first time, you're in for a treat. This platform, we endeavor to speak truth to power as often as possible. We do a lot of research, and we try and make ourselves aware of what is going on around us. And we try to encourage us to speak up about we try and encourage us all to speak up about what's going on, and re-educate ourselves. Particularly melanated people. Many of us, don't forget, as you're watching us on YouTube, give us the thumbs up, help us with more people. Many of us in the melanated communities, we have been told so many lies about who we are. There is nothing that we can take for granted about whatever we're told now. We need to be very aware that whatever we're told about who we are, anything we learn, we have to relearn. We have to go and literally relearn everything about what we have ever been told about ourselves, about our world, about everything. So, with that said, greetings and welcome. You are, of course, listening to Citizen AY, the platform where we speak truth to power. Do me a favor. So, those of you joining us right now on YouTube, could you go ahead, hit the like button? When you do that, it helps the algorithm. It helps us to, the algorithm goes that much further, and we reach more people with your support, of course. And we're very grateful for you joining us as a first timer, and we hope it's not going to be the last. And we'd like you to join us in the discussions. So I'm just going to give those who are on TikTok a few minutes. There's normally a time lag with when the people on TikTok join me. It sort of takes a bit of time for them to for the algorithm on TikTok to bring people in. So as we say, one of the things that we want to do on this platform is always to raise awareness within the Black community, melanated community, so that we know what is going on around us, the world around us, and what we can do to improve things, and to really take back control on our various areas in various parts of where maybe be it the in indigenous Indian Americans, Africans, or or our Cablelands, whatever we are melanated, and we are all facing the same struggles. Greetings, user 53595. Greetings and welcome on TikTok. You are listening to Citizen AY, the platform where we speak truth to power. We do want us all to be, all of us, we have to get curious about our history. Whatever history we've been told about who we are, we mustn't take it at face value anymore, because we now understand that many of the things that we've been taught about who we are as a people, as a race, as whatever it is, there's been too many falsehoods, and a negative portrayal of self that they put in for us to actually turn on ourselves. So we need to break free. And the only way we can really awaken ourselves is by doing a journey of discovery ourselves, as a group, as a community, or people within the group coming up and sharing information that we get among ourselves, so that we can re-educate our community, and that we'll be able to take back control. Now, one such thing, South Africa is a very is a one such example. In South Africa, right now, we're having a major issue with immigration. And the curious thing about South Africa is this: South Africa in 1897, Cecil Rhodes came to he was from Bishopsgate in London, in UK. Cecil Rhodes is a man that came from Bishopsgate in UK. I kid you not. Let me find that information for you. and I can give you the bit of background to how South Africa came about. And it's very important we understand that. Cecil Rhodes was a man that had an agenda. He believed that Africans don't have access to any right. They don't have any right to land, But many of them, they don't tell you this, and many people don't know that Cecil Rhodes is from UK, United Kingdom. Yet he became the prime minister or premier for South Africa. And don't forget, he was the one who was Cecil Rhodes. Rhodesia was named after him. I mean, these are histories that South Africans need to be aware of, and we're bringing that up so that we know what's going on. Please give us a thumbs up as you're watching us, and we're grateful for each and every one of you joining us on YouTube. We appreciate you. If you do come in, just give us a thumbs up. That will help the algorithm to reach more people. So let me just quickly do this now. I want to just go. Where was Cecil Rhodes born? Right. Let's do that. Cecil Rhodes born. Right. So you will see. I mean, they even have a museum. I believe they've probably turned the house into a museum now in the UK. So, but I want to just give you a quick update. So those of you who are watching, and if you're watching me on YouTube, TikTok, please tap on the screen and share. Help us grow the platform. You are listening to Citizen AY, the platform where we speak truth to power. We do appreciate you joining us, and I know it's been a bit late, but we wanted to really share this information with you. As you're coming in, of course, we do appreciate your comments. Hi from Farida. I think I'm not quite sure if I'm reading it. What we're talking about today, we're talking about South Africa. South Africa and the immigration crisis in South Africa. Nigeria has made a stand warning that South Africa will be facing some sanctions, some economic sanctions as a result of the actions that they're taking against immigrants in South Africa. And that is something that's of immense importance. Whoops, I've not done anything. I have to appeal this. We have done nothing wrong. There we go on TikTok. We keep getting banned on TikTok, and that is why I am glad that we have followership on YouTube. Please help us grow the platform. I really do appreciate you. Let me just put this up. Okay. So I'm just challenging them right away on TikTok. Nothing wrong. I broke no rules. I broke no rules. So there we go. So I'm challenging it. I'll submit that. Let's see what happens. I get this problem constantly on TikTok. When I come and speak, it seems as though there's a kind of like a shadow ban on what I'm doing. And I'm asking questions and people are people are not seeing me now because I don't know what it is that they're doing. But normally I would have, by now there should be 1,000 people, but there's barely 10 people who are watching me or following me right now on TikTok. But hey, it comes with the territory. So, quick one. Those of you joining, Cecil Rhodes is a British mining magnate. Now, where was he born is the question. And I want to just make sure we understand that he was born in Bishop Stortford, Hertfordshire. He was born in Bishop Stortford, Hertfordshire in the UK. So it's very important that you understand that. So many people who don't understand what's going on will not know that fact. He was born in Bishop's Stortford, Hertfordshire in the UK. He was born 1853. By 1897, he moved. Yes, people have fled. Exactly, people have fled. Keramos. What is going on right now is that there is a kind of there's a bit of, sad to say, not all. Now I must say this now. I have to be fair to my fellow South Africans. Not all South Africans are xenophobic. Not all. Some are, and some of them have been really negative in what they're saying about immigrants. But there are some who are pushing back. But nonetheless, the effect is the same. Many immigrants feel unsafe in South Africa. to such an extent that Nigeria now has now authorized, that has now agreed that some of our citizens can fly home at the government's expense because of the threat to life that some South Africans have expressed to immigrants on the in South Africa. And the curious thing about South Africa, the reason why I had to go via to talk about Cecil Rhodes, is that we need to understand that as we speak now, and I know they say this, as we speak right now in South Africa, 72% of the farmland in South Africa remains in the hands of the colonials. 72% of the land, the farmland in South Africa, it still remains in the hands of those who colonized South Africa. That is to say, the population right now, 80%, 82% of the population are only able to access 18% of the farmland in South Africa. And not to talk about the mines. They also, on top of that, the 82% are not able to have direct access to the mines in their own land to benefit their community. So there is a heavy restriction. But the curious thing is, unfortunately, because of the way things have been done by the government is very much being controlled. Greetings all, welcome to Citizen Network, the platform where we speak truth to power. If you're joining us for the first time on YouTube, please go ahead, give us a thumbs up on YouTube, and hit the like button, give us thumbs up, help us reach more people, and share the live. You are listening to Citizen Network, the platform where we speak truth to power. And those of you on TikTok, I know that TikTok have done something right now again. There we go. It's hardly moving, but but it doesn't matter. We will continue. So I'm going to keep bringing people on board. Hopefully that will change in due course. Now, so like I said, Cecil Rhodes was born in 1853, July 5, 1853, in Bishop Stortford, Hertfordshire. Now, how did he move from UK citizen to being the head of the South Africa? How? Thank you very much for the thumbs up. Continue to go. I really appreciate that, and we appreciate super chats as well. Now, brief history. 1897. The same said Cecil Rhodes brought in the Land Reform Act, 1897, and that act was basically, it did just a basic thing. It took the land that belonged to melanated or black South Africans, took it from their hands and gave it to 8% of the population. So the people who were on the land before, all Africans, 80, 90% of them, he took the land. Many of them, they had to go and find money to vote. If you couldn't find money to vote, you couldn't vote. They had to pay 25 rand or something like that to vote. And many of them didn't, that's not, they've been living on that land. Suddenly you're saying you have to go and get money. And then they made people into laborers and things like that. And the classification meant that the people could not defend their land, So who allowed that? Well, I'm sorry, the question is being asked by Kiran MC. Well, this is what I'm afraid Cecil Rhodes, this is what he did in South Africa, because once they took over from South Africa, once they took over, there was a Boer Wars. The Boers were there first, then the British came, then there was a war. And when they had some kind of agreement among themselves, they decided, okay, you are going to run things. So they decided to run the land that didn't belong to them. And the people who owned the land became slaves. They became, people who are landless, people who did not have land. One of the things that Cecil Rhodes said was that, I think one of his saying was that black people do not have the right to their land. That he said they must learn to understand that they will have to work that land. They will have to work for menial labor, something along those lines. I'm not giving the exact quote. I'll try and see if I can find those quotes for you. Let me see if I can find it on here. And it's very important to understand that thinking. I need to go and find the Land Reform Act for you as well. So 1897 Land Reform Act. So we are trying to do a bit of a history lesson here in short, because we have to understand Lady Max. Greetings, Lady Max. Hi, how are you doing on TikTok? I will be bringing you in. We're just going to talk about South Africa. I wanted to just give people a bit of a background to why South Africa is the way it is right now. And many people don't understand why. And I think we have to understand the background. Sometimes when you go back, you have to go forward. 1897 Land Reform Act. And I want to see if I can find the quote. There is a quote that Cecil Rhodes said, and I want that quote, bearing in mind he was born in Bishop Stortford, Hertfordshire. He went all the way to South Africa to tell people that they don't own the right to the land of their ancestors. It's very important to understand that. And I wanted to just really bring that not from an act. South Africa. Let me see. South Africa. So yeah, let me just see. Yeah. So we're going to talk about that, and then we'll talk about the issue of what that meant, and how that has really affected things. I think, if I recall, one of the things they probably changed all of those things, and you're not able to find those information. I know what they're doing. I mean, thankfully, we still have some information somewhere. We can get it, and I have to do some more digging, but nonetheless, we need to know these things. And I wanted the quotes by Cecil Rhodes. I wanted an exact quote from him. So I want to quote him verbatim. Let's have a look. So just give me a minute. I'm just trying to find 1897 Land Reform Act. South Africa. Okay. It's not going to bring that out. It doesn't want me to have that, but we will get it nonetheless. We are going to fish it out. Trust me. We're going to fish it out. Okay. So in 18, yeah. So let me just see. So I'm going to try and find that information for you. Land Reform Act, South Africa. And let's have a look. So they're quickly going over. The 1897 is the most so unjust. It is so obscenely unjust. Thank you for the thumbs up. Continue to share the like. And we need to talk about that, because if you don't have that foundation, then you won't understand why South Africa is the way it is right now. And I think it's important that when we're going to talk about South Africa, that we have that kind of background information, so that when you see what is going on now, you can now see what is driving the move by people to try and upset things. So I just want to try and find. They've changed a few things here. I can see that I cannot find the Cecil Rhodes thing there, but I will do one more thing as I go along. So Cecil Rhodes, let me just see if I can find him on Wikipedia. Maybe you can get the information that way, because hopefully, because they're changing a lot of things now. I know they're going around and changing a lot of things, but that information is still valid for us to know about what he said, because when we understand everything, here we go. He and his brother in 1896, he and his British, he named, now is the son of a vicar. There you go. Now, one of the things it says, which effectively was by black people, from things that they won't tell you about the colonial, that we know this, that black people, the way they took the land from black people in South Africa was to create this, what did you call it again? I'm just going to make sure I get it right. Just give me 1 second. I just scrolled way too fast, because I'm a little bit excited about this in a way, so just bear with me. Okay, son of a vicar, we got that. Cape Collier. Franchise Ballot Act. It's called the Franchise Ballot Act, effectively barring black people from taking part after overseeing the formation of Rhodesia during the early 1890s. He forced to resign in 1996 after a disastrous Jameson's raid, an unauthorized attack on Paul Kruger's South African Republic, Transvaal. His career never recovered. Anyway, never mind. We're not going to go into that. What we're looking at is what is going on. So already, the people of South Africa, black people in South Africa, were not allowed to have the right to vote in their own country. Keep in mind, Cecil Rhodes is from the UK. He's from the UK. So how did he suddenly go from being a UK citizen now taking over the land that belongs to South Africans? That's the question we need to be making sure we're asking. Whatever, and what is interesting is that till date, the actions of Cecil Rhodes has had a lasting impact on the trajectory of the people, the original people of South Africa. They have suffered ever since because the land issue has never been resolved. The land issue in South Africa has never been resolved. What they did, unfortunately, many people view, and I'm about to say this now to South Africans, please, I know you're going to find this difficult, but Mandela was a puppet. I'm sorry to say it. I have his book, The Long Walk to Freedom. I believed in all that spiel. I believed in everything they were telling us. But now, after years of doing a lot of research and actually understanding about the Land Reform Act and what they did to him, they told him that he will never be released unless he gave up on the land. He had to agree about the land. And that is why they came with that Truth and Reconciliation, whereby people could speak, and willing seller, willing buyer, all of this stuff. They told him the only way he would get out of prison was if he renounced the claim to the land of South Africa. And I can't blame a man when you spend 20 years of your life, maybe more, maybe less, in a prison on road, something Robben Island. You know, I can sort of see why he had no other choice. But at the same time, there were things that they did. They made agreements with him to the exclusion of the people. So when you are seeing South Africa now, you have to bear in mind the things that was done before. I'm trying to find, there's an information that I wanted you to see. So that's him when he was young. I'm trying to find the other issue again about the land. Now the diamond, there were the Bears and all that company came on the foundation of him creating that place, taking it from Africans, and Africans couldn't vote. So these are really sickening things. That's the foundation anyway. I'll probably come and do a program specifically on the 1897 Land Reform Act at another time. But only for time purposes, I want to be able to crack on a bit. Now, they discovered, I think they discovered gold in Marabastard, and there were numerous gold discovered in Eastern Transvaal. Sold his diamond claims to Cecil and left to mine gold. The two never saw each other again. So it was all about taking what didn't belong to him and then sort of, making sure that the people who owned that land never got their benefit. I'm trying to look for his quotes. I'm trying to see, yeah, let me see. There's a quote that he said that I wanted you to hear, and it's important to hear it. So when people are saying that they're getting the Cecil Rhodes scholarship, many Africans who are getting that scholarship, they don't know the real foundation of that. And this is what I mean. That's why we need to know history. We have to really understand that the Cecil Rhodes scholarship, if you are taking that scholarship, it's a way to try and silence you. They say, what do you want? What do you mean? But they're giving you a scholarship. They're helping you. Are they really helping you? Or are they trying to cement their own story in your land? As Africans, when you understand what Cecil Rhodes did to deny people the right to vote, to deny them, to take their land from them, the last thing you would do is to take any scholarship from such a body, because they are hiding. This is what I'm saying. On this platform, we speak truth to power. We come to expose many of the things that have been hidden from our view for so many years. Now, let me find that quote for you. There's one particular quote that I want you to understand. Here we go. Rhodes' view was that black people needed to be driven off their land to stimulate them to labor, to change their habits. It must be brought home to them, Rhodes said, that in future, 9/10 of them to spend their lives in manual labor, and the sooner it is brought home to them, the better. Those are the words of Cecil Rhodes right there. And I'm so glad we found those words. So when you are looking at this South African issue right now that is going on, you have to view it in that context. Because right now, let me read that to you again. The bit that I'll read the whole thing and I'll pick out the particular area that is relevant till today to South African black people. Let us go and read that again. Rhodes' view was that black people needed to be driven off their land to stimulate them to labor and to change their habits. It must be brought home to them. Rhodes said that in future, 9/10 of them will spend their lives in manual labor. Now, 9/10 of them will spend their lives in manual labor. What is happening in South Africa today? The people of South Africa, the indigenous black South Africans of South Africa, many of them are in labor. They are in manual labor. They are employed to mine the field of their ancestors, yet they do not have the right to lay claim to those land. That's the reality of it. So when we are looking at the struggle of what is going on in South Africa now, one begins to see that the people who are rebelling against immigrants, they are not able to fully grasp that when they are rebelling against immigrants, it is not the black people that they are really targeting. The reason why they are targeting black people, they are looking at black people, is they are the people they can see around them. The real immigrants are the ones who have denied them and continue to deny them 72% of the farmland that they can by right. If those lands were open to all of the 80% South Africans right now, there'll be no South Africa will be poor. They won't be poor. That's the plain fact. So we are saying this because when we are talking about this, I don't want us to forget for 1 minute that South Africans have turned on black immigrants. No, but I'm trying to say that when you understand that the quote, and the thing is what Cecil Rhodes said there is what is happening in South Africa. Majority of black South Africans are in manual labor as we speak right now. Quote me. Majority of black South Africans in South Africa right now, 80% of them, as much as, are in low-paid manual jobs. And those are the words that Rhodes stated all the way back in 18, whatever time it was. Let me see, 1890. In 1890. And now read those words to you again, so that we can grasp what is really going on. We have to grasp it. Please type and share the broadcast. Help us with more people. I know that my broadcast is being limited by TikTok, but please, those of you on YouTube, TikTok, can you go to my YouTube platform and subscribe? Hit notification button. Those of you watching us on YouTube, can you subscribe to us? Hit notification button. Give us thumbs up. We do need your support. We're trying to grow this platform. One of the things we want to do is we want to be able to go to Burkina Faso, Mali, and Niger. We're trying to organize a trip there with not just myself, but other people as well. And we'll do some filming, and we will get to be one of the group of people that will get to meet Ibrahim Traore, because it does meet and greet as a group thing, and we want to go there on the basis. So your joining and subscribing to this platform will be a great help. Please tap and share, help us grow the platform. And you're listening to Citizen AY, the platform where we speak truth to power. Okay, so now let's carry on. So now in the context, when you go and look at many black South Africans now, the very thing that Cecil Rhodes said is what is happening to black South Africans right now. Black South Africans, let me give you the current route, so let me see I'll read something. Black South Africans. Let me just see if I can get this one to you. Yeah. Research indicates that at the end of apartheid, South Africans remain profoundly racialized, with black South Africans experiencing highest rates of poverty, unemployment, and economic disadvantage. That is what Cecil Rhodes planned to happen to black South Africans. And guess what? That is what is happening to them right now. So we are saying this so that we can really begin to understand that there are levers that have been used to hold Black South Africans down. So on the one hand, I fully understand where they're coming from. So again, let me just read a bit more of that breakdown. Income equality. South Africa has one of the highest levels of income equality in the world. The top 10% earners historically and currently disproportionately white. That is tied back to that Land Reform Act. The actions of Cecil Rhodes has had and continue to have a lasting negative impact on Black people. They don't have access to wealth. They don't have access to resources. They are restricted, and they are restricted to manual labor. Very much like Cecil Rhodes said. Let me just go to you again so you can understand where we're coming from. So here's the quote. Rhodes' view was that Black people needed to be driven off their land. To stimulate them to labor, to change their habits, it must be brought home to them, Rhodes said. That in future, 9/10 of them will have to spend their lives in manual labor. And the sooner that is brought home to them, the better. So when you are listening to what is going on in South Africa, I, as a non-South African, as an African, I can see and understand to a certain extent what they're doing. And we have to re-educate them to say, hang on. Your anger is misplaced because 72% of your farmland should rightly belong to you and is being held disproportionately in the hands of those who colonize and enslave. And in fact, you are still being enslaved on your land as we speak. So now I'll read this to you. Income equality. South Africa has one of the highest levels of income equality in the world. The top 10% of earners historically and currently disproportionately white, earning roughly 66 to 70% of the total national income. So what has changed? We need to ask a question. What has changed? You say that South Africa is a democracy. Why is it that 60 to 70% of the national income is being earned by those or the descendants of those who enslaved Black South Africans? Why? And why isn't that being changed? So now many South Africans are beginning to ask a question, and rightly so. So I wanted to just bring that in. Poverty rate. The poverty is concentrated among Black population. According to 2026 reports, roughly 43.8% of Black South Africans live below lower bound poverty line, less than 1,300 rand per person per month. Again, let's look at this other thing. Unemployment is disproportionately high among Black South Africans, with some estimates showing a rate of 41% for this group compared to just 6% for white South Africans. So you see that the system, whatever you call the democracy, that system is built to ensure that Black people remain enslaved in their land. So these are things that has not often been spoken about. And what we try to do on this platform, Citizen AY, the platform where we speak truth to power, is to shine a light. Our concern really is for the whole of our Cableland, Africa, if you like, to make sure that we begin to learn the real story. Sorry about this. We begin to learn the real story of what has happened. Because oftentimes we have been told so many falsehoods, and many of us have taken it. I, for one, took it without questioning. The education that we learn in Africa is just been enough for us to just be compliant to the system created by the colonials. The education system that many Black people have gone through in the whole of Africa is just to educate you just enough for you to be kind of like a servant to the structures created by the colonials. And such is the case till date. It is very, very important. Malcolm MLK, thank you very much. So very, very important point that we're saying here. Now, the next thing, wealth distribution. Let's go and look at wealth distribution. The legacy of apartheid has left a deeply entrenched wealth gap. In 2025-2026, studies approximately 50% of the white adults own wealth at least 250 rand, while only 3% of black adults own that same amount. So, however way you cut this, the prediction by Cecil Rhodes in 1890 is holding sway as we speak right now. And let's not forget, Cecil Rhodes is from Bishop Stortford in the UK. That's where he's from. So many people are not aware of this, and we are hoping by shining a light, we are bringing this information out. I, for one, I would encourage anybody who is going to get any scholarship, if you are to get any scholarship, do your research. If they tell you the name of the scholarship is Cecil Rhodes and you are an African, I urge you to research. Do not be fooled by the money. Do not accept that scholarship, because you are taking the scholarship on the basis of the fact that the sweat, they've collected the money. That scholarship is still holding on to money that is meant to be for Africans. It is important to state that, in my view. Now, so let us go, and I'll come back to that. I just want to give a bit of a background. Okay, please, as you're watching, tap and share on the screen. You are listening to Citizen AY, the platform where we speak truth to power. I don't know. I think TikTok has got it in for me today. They don't want me to share that information. Let me just make sure I said hi. It's programming. Lady Max, yes, thank you. Yes, indeed, it is programming. So I'm going to bring you in, Lady Max, if you're able to speak as well. Indeed. So let me just bring a few people. In fact, I'll bring Lady Max in, because she is very versed in this area, and and she's a champion for all things melanated people, and it is worth hearing from you. Let me see if you're able to join me, even as I speak, and I think it's worth hearing from you. And of course, if there are any South African in the house on TikTok or on YouTube, and you want to join me, or on YouTube, you may not be able to join me. You may be able to give me a what do you call it? You're able to give me like leave a comment, and I'll read it. So very, very important. Muku Congo. Okay. So okay. Let me go to Lady Max first. Greetings and welcome. What would you like to say? It's a pleasure having you join us. Go ahead.
Thank you, Citizen AY. Can you hear me?
Loud and clear. Loud and clear. Loud and clear. Go ahead.
Well, good evening to you and all the viewers. I wish there were more. I think you're correct. There's something going on, because this low number is not your speed. You generally have a lot more people, but let's exercise some patience.
Yeah.
And hope that people just find you. Yes?
Yes, exactly. Thank you.
I want to thank you for bringing the deep knowledge as always. You're sharing nuggets here that I didn't even know. This system that they've set up in place speaks volumes to what we're witnessing happening in South Africa today.
Exactly.
Okay. So this happened how many decades ago? And yet the impact of it is quite incredible. So I'm listening keenly, because I'm learning. You're teaching me, and I appreciate you for that, right?
Okay.
So thank you.
Okay.
I don't really have much to add, because I'm in class. I'm in school at the moment, okay?
Thank you.
So respect to you, and I will just sit back and allow you to do your great works.
Thank you so much. That's really kind of you, Lady Max. I think we all have knowledges in many areas. And look, every single person, we are talented in our own ways. And if we can share that opportunity, the knowledge with each other, we are even all the better for it. So I thank you for this kind compliment. I receive it in that order, in the ways intended. Thank you so much. Let me
Blessings to you.
and to you too. Thank you. Let's go to Mukulu Congo. What would you like to say? Are you South African, by the way? Welcome.
No. I'm from Lumumba boys.
Okay. Okay. Fantastic. How are you?
Yeah, good. Peace and Pan Africanism, my brother. Peace be upon you. And I just want to say something quick when it comes to South Africans. Those who don't pay attention to the history repeat the same mistake, because history repeats itself.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of time, we as African, we don't pay attention, right? These people these Muzungu people,
Mhm.
they are good at when it comes to time.
Mm.
They know how to plan accordingly,
Mhm.
and they know how to read between the lines,
Mhm.
right? The most honorable Marcus Garvey said, if black men and black women don't pay attention to the Western civilization,
Mhm.
they will swallow its poison and die
Mhm.
with the side effects of it.
Mm.
We've been poisoned for centuries,
Mhm.
and we haven't figured out how we can escape and how we can push on that same playbook that we've been playing for centuries, right?
Mhm.
And also, brother, you've been probably, I can see you an elder brother. You've been on the earth for a little while. Every time white people want to destroy a group of people, they practice isolation. I
Mm.
have to even when it comes to in real life, when the enemy comes, they have to break people.
Mhm.
So when you break, they will be easy. It'll be easy for them to operate. That's what they came with, divided and conquered.
Yes.
When European came with tribalism, they didn't care about none of the tribes, but they just had to use it to break people so they can rule over people.
Mhm.
I think what's going on in South Africa, the white man knows who helped South African during apartheid. It was African people.
Mhm.
Ghana, President Maham even said many modern South African, they attempt to forget the history who really helped them during apartheid.
Mhm.
So what's happening right now, I think if you know for the timeline, the apartheid government
Yeah.
attempted to create Palestine versus Israel in South Africa.
Mhm.
And that plan still remained. It never changed. They just couldn't do it because the resistance, shout out to South African freedom fighters,
Yeah.
they fought until it was not possible for them to accept to compromise. The 1994 end of apartheid was the compromise governments.
Mhm.
They gave political blackface, black skin, white mask.
Yeah.
So we're gonna put black people. It's the same neo-colonialism.
Mhm.
Colonialism was white people in white face and white power. So when they left white power in blackface.
Correct.
South,
Correct.
South Africa is still going on the neo apartheid. Basically means economic power, social power is still in the hands of the colonized.
Yeah.
So to comes to what's going on right now, I think white South Africans are planning something. If you know the recent election, many black South Africans are tired of ANC.
Mm.
They don't want to deal with ANC. They're complaining about corruption, this and that. So you know what's going to be? They don't even want to vote for the EFF, Economic Freedom Fighter.
That's
They don't want
correct.
to vote for other parties. So
That's
the
correct.
only option would be that we go with DA, Democratic Alliance. So once they do it, bro, I'm telling you, this has been my prediction since this thing started. I think we might witness. I'm not saying I'm right, but we might witness apartheid 2.0.
Do you know that
Because
the head of the person who created DA is a British man?
there's a guy called Philip Gregg.
Mm-hmm.
He's a British immigrant. Philip Gregg is a British immigrant, white British immigrant. He's been advocating about the separation of Western Cape.
Mm-hmm.
He said, listen, that white man said South African Western Cape needs to be separate because it doesn't reflect Western value in Africa. So what's going to happen now?
Oh my gosh.
They're going to make other African hate South Africans.
Yeah.
So once they turn against them, no one gonna come to their help. I think that's gonna happen. And I love what you're doing because we need to spread the awareness. Many of us are asleep. And shout out to the three brothers we have in the you have on the background.
Yes.
Proud of Africa we
Yes.
And I feel
Yes.
like what's going on with France. 3 days ago, France just invited African influencers on social media.
Mm.
They were at this Champs-Elysees. So Macron invited many African social media personalities
Mm-hmm.
to do what? To plan to brainwash the youth. So that's why you see, brother, like you with your platform, you're gonna get a lot of restriction because TikTok does not favor your message.
No,
You know,
no, you're right. You're right.
you know what they did to African media, African streaming?
Yes,
They shut down.
they did. They did.
So we also, this is another thing I'm gonna learn by this. United we stand, divided we fall.
Absolutely.
We
Absolutely.
are black people. Kwame Nkrumah said, I am not African because I was born in Africa. I am African because Africa was born in me. Martin Luther King said, if we don't unite, we would be, they're going to analyze us as fools. So we have to have the same mindset. Thank you, brother.
Thank
Thank
you.
you for the great work. May the ancestors protect you, guide you, give you more wisdom. So we need voices so we can right what was stolen, what was lost. I yield. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Muluku Congo. Thank you. Wow, wow, wow. What for the first person as a first time on my platform, I'm gonna follow you right back. I am really, I feel, I sense the connection and the ancestors. I believe, in fact, not I believe, I know the ancestors. They made this this meeting of minds happen, and it is already so. I am so grateful for your comments. I really appreciate you coming in and actually shedding some light about some things that they're planning ahead, 10, 15 years ahead. The things you spoke about is like 10, 15 years ahead that they want to happen. And they need for Africans and Black South Africans and Black Africans to be separated so that they can go about and recolonize South Africa again. Well, we're not going to let that happen. So I'm hoping that those of us watching now, yes, we can be upset with what the Black South Africans are doing to immigrants, but we can understand that they are lashing out because they don't have the levers of control. They don't have the levers of control of what's going on. So it is us that will have to remind them, hey, brother, come. I need you to understand, we are not the people that's causing the issue. TikTok keeps banning me. They are banning everything. They're just giving me suspended. They're giving me, they're just shadow banning this platform, the TikTok. They don't want it to grow. They don't want it to reach more people because I'm bringing too many facts. They don't want me to talk about facts, but I will continue. Even if it's only one person, we will continue with this broadcast. And of course, those of you who are watching us on YouTube right now, TikTok, go ahead and subscribe to my platform on YouTube, Citizen AY, hashtag Citizen AY on YouTube as well, and help us with more people. So, like I'm saying, our job, those of us who can, is to remind our South African brothers that, look, what is being done here, they want us to turn against each other. Because when we left, when immigrants have left, and then and they want us to turn our backs against Black South Africans, because that way they will now have them in their sight. They will now, very much like Muluku Congo said, they will now carve up South Africa the way they want, because the rest of Africa will now just not bother with what is happening to South Africa. And we mustn't do that. This is part of what is called the neo-colonialism that Kwame Nkrumah spoke about. They were so afraid of Nkrumah that they took him out of power. They pretended that they were calling him to a meeting, and by the time he came back, he was out of power. The British monarch was involved in that, in calling him to come to, I think, some Asian country. I can't remember which country. They were going to a meeting there, and by the time he came back, he was out of power. Again, same thing. If you look at what is happening to Patrice Lumumba, every single African leader that is actually that was going to bring Africa to prominence and bring us to a proper true greatness, they silenced. Patrice Lumumba, Kwame Nkrumah, Amilcar Cabral, Gaddafi, so many African leaders. 22 countries were taken out. Muluku, go ahead. Yeah, let's hear from you.
Brother, I like what you just mentioned about neocolonialism. If you also, like I mentioned about the timeline, if you study, like I said, these people, they know how to plan.
Mm-hmm.
In the 60s, we had a wave of global resistance. The same year, from 1958 to 1970, look how many leaders they took. In America, Martin Luther King was gone.
Yes.
Malcolm X, gone. We went to Africa, Lumumba, gone. Many of our leaders. So what they did, they created like a fear that if you don't want to, but there's even a book called the Charter of Imperialism.
Mm-hmm.
If you read it, it's a little brochures that explain about because you see, white people are ruthless. They don't care.
Mm-hmm.
Emmanuel Macron in 2024.
Yeah.
Imagine, this is the president of France.
Mm-hmm.
He went to Kinshasa, in the streets of Kinshasa, drinking with Fali Pupa. White people, one of the strategy when it comes to white supremacy, they are ruthless. If they have to take anything, they will gladly do it.
Mm-hmm.
And the thing, brother, another thing, so this generation, I think, like Garvey said, if we don't pay attention to the Western civilization, we will die, we will swallow its poison and die with the side effects because we've been poisoning. But look at the thing, brother, right? How can you fix something that you were not a part of when it was broken? We do have the blueprints, right? Look what Nkrumah did in 1957. He took the initiative to travel throughout the Africa.
Yeah.
So Nkrumah said, traveling to my African peers, I found that we have more in common that can unite us that we divided. So we have to study because, brother, you see, that's what Pan-Africanism is urgent. We must unite. To your point, we're not ignorant. We know they're using South African to turn us against each other. So like you said, we're not going to we're not going to hate them. We're not, we don't like, no, that's what they want.
Exactly.
Listening, don't fall with this, South African as xenophobic. We're going to lose that because if you don't understand geopolitics, South Africa has been a buffer zone for Africa destruction.
Yes. Yeah.
Every bad things that has happened to Africa started in South Africa. HIV in 1953, South Africa. The powder era, South Africa. Military conflict, every single thing. White people, European, the same way they wanted to expand their power. They succeeded in Middle East. You got Israel. You have Australia. You have New Zealand. You have Canada. And they created their own global superpower that is called United States. So they're also wanting to have the power based in Africa, which is South Africa. And we should not fall for this narrative. Like the brother said, we understand the frustration. We're condoning the unaliving of our brothers and sisters, but we have to study how these people operate.
Exactly. Thank you so much. Well said. Well said. Wow. Well said. I think everybody, this is what I would like. You see, please, I want you to, we need to really begin to believe, to trust in each other, because the trust between ourselves as people has been broken. The trust that we have in our community, the Ubuntu spirit, they broke that spirit. And we need to build that back up ourselves, brick by brick. We literally have to build it one person to the next person like that. It's going to be a slow process because what they've done, they've divided us. So one party is speaking English, another one is speaking Spanish, another one is speaking Portuguese, another one is speaking Arabic. All of this is intended that that continent will never, ever have a unity to be able to forge ahead. Well, the times that we are in now, the generation that is behind mine now, the Gen Zs, they are waking up. And I'm trying to be part of the elders, if you like, who will give the information for them to just to look back and see the things that what was hidden from them, so that they don't end up in the same mistakes that my generation and the ones before me did. It is very important because this is your future. I'm just here to make sure that you have this information, and I want you to have a better future, and then the coming generations to have a better future. So my brother, thank you so much for those words. And everybody else, I want you to make sure that it's in your blood, it's in your genes. Start questioning everything. You must question everything that has ever been put in front of you. This world is not what it seems. They have told us a bunch of untruths, and they've made it to be truths, and made us to believe in what they have spoon-fed, force-fed us. We've been force-fed, and we've been made to actually turn against ourselves, our own interests on our land, and we need to wake up on the African continent. So let me go ahead. Malcolm X. Oh my goodness, what a name. I gotta hear from you. Malcolm, you've been waiting for a while. Thank you for waiting. What would you like to say? Let's hear from you.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I appreciate you and I love you, my brother. I also love
Thank you.
Comrade Mukulu. Salute, salute, salute,
Yes.
brother. I appreciate you. First of all, Citizen AY, I saw you lift up a book by Osagyefo Dr. Kwame Nkrumah, Neocolonialism, the last stage of imperialism.
Yes.
I love that. I appreciate that. Yes, yes, yes. Salute. And those three behind you, I salute you for, showing the vibrancy and the spirit of Pan-Africanism. These are the future of Pan-Africanism. And the youth of the future, we love them so much. So when I saw it, I was just scrolling through after reading something and I said, no, I need to stay here and listen to some wisdom. And I appreciate you for bringing me up. First of all, this morning, when I woke up, I decided to scroll through X to see what's the latest news, and then I came across a news piece that the president of the Republic of Ghana, John Mahama, has actually reported South Africa government to the African Union.
Good.
And it generated a lot of conversation, debates, and South Africans, yes, South Africans do not love it. They claim that this action by John Mahama is actually like kind of indicting or reducing or limiting the spirit of Pan-Africanism. And then my question was that, so what about your actions? What about the fact that you feel like there are so many Black Africans in your country and your solution to that is to maim them, is to beat them, is to chase them, is to close their businesses? Intriguingly, I checked online to see the economic impact of the few Africans, Black Africans in South Africa, their contribution. And I just realized that it's just 2% of the economy.
Yeah.
Now, who handles the rest of the 98%? Your guess is as good as mine, as the white folks in South Africa. I also checked about the land ownership of South Africa, who owns majority of the land. The percentage is intriguing. It's amazing. Close to 80% of the land is owned by the white folks. Now, my question is, why do the South Africans think that it is the other Black Africans, those from Nigeria, Zimbabwe, Malawi, and Ghana? They are those who are taking away their lands. They are those who are taking away their economy, their money, because they keep saying that they are taking our jobs. They are taking our jobs. And then next argument or excuse they use is that they're bringing in drugs, so much drugs in the system. Now, my question is, if they are bringing in drugs, who are the consumers? They are blaming Nigerians for bringing in drugs. Do Nigerians manufacture cocaine and fly it straight to South Africa?
Say powder because they might be F1 because of yeah, please.
Thank you for that. Yeah. So that is my confusion. But you in your prologue, in your opening, I love that a lot because after listening to you, I feel like my fellow South Africans, I don't know if they have put some chip in their mind. It's like they're programmed.
Yeah.
They feel okay doing things with the white folks, but they hate their own Black brothers. Let me tell you a little bit of history. I like Comrade Mukulu for that. He was bringing in a couple of facts and figures, and I love history for that. In the early 1950s, 60s, and 70s, Ghana was a mecca for liberation struggle. The likes of Nsizwe, the ANC, Mandela, and were all trained in military camps in Ghana,
Yeah.
and they receive aids, they receive money, they receive support.
Mhm.
And as you know as well, that Comrade Robert Gabriel Mugabe also schooled in Ghana,
Mhm.
taught in Ghana, even married a Ghanaian for some time, and then yeah. So imagine if Kwame Nkrumah came back and Mandela came back, and remember that Kwame Nkrumah was voted the the best or the greatest black man of
Mm.
the century.
Mm.
And that's intriguing. Even they voted him over the likes of Mandela,
Yeah.
of course, Mosiah Garvey, my mentor. You know, if all these great people are alive today, they would be utterly disappointed at my black folks in South Africa. All I want to say is that I do understand the outcry and the feelings of my fellow South Africans. However, beating black folks, black Africans is not the solution. Allow the immigration to do their jobs. Allow the police to do their jobs. You have no moral right, you have no legal right to carry arrow and bows and then daggers and beat people. The thing is, like you said, history repeats again. There could be another appetite, and I like what you said, neo appetite. And this is a way that the black South Africans are trying to like make enemies with their fellow Africans. Now, my question is, what happens tomorrow if you are being suppressed by the same people that you are licking their boots? Who is going to come and support you? Who is going to come and fight for you again?
Mhm.
Now, where would you run to? Because already you are beating Zimbabweans, all the other Africans around you, you're beating them. What happens? Because tomorrow can never be foretold. We are not prophets.
Mhm.
So I want to tell also the South African government that their voice should carry weight. We should hear them. They should come out in their numbers and condemn it and let the laws work. It's okay if you want everybody to leave your country, but do it in a legal way.
Yeah.
It shouldn't be crude. It shouldn't be rude. There should no be any reason for you to take up cutlasses and chase fellow black men.
Exactly.
Now, but before I conclude, my question is, what happens if fellow West Africans like Nigeria and Ghanaians, when they start to say, okay, there is Stanbic Bank that belongs to South Africa or MTN or DSTV. Let us also kick them out of our country. What is going to happen? Is it going to be the best? Is this what we want to do to Africa? What happens to the spirit of Pan-Africanism? They say they don't like Pan-Africanism. They just want to be alone in their own country. But I want to tell them that no country is an island. No country, no matter who you are, even America depends on other people. Go check the
Mhm.
debt that America is owing to China and Japan
Mhm.
and co. So my plea to them is that listen, uh embrace education, because if you look through the system inside, you get to know that the black folks were so much injected with entertainment, excitement to an extent that they threw away their books, education, and all that. And by the time they wash their face and open their eyes, the white folks have carried all their lands, carried all their businesses, all their economies, and all that. And without education, you are going to be fighting with all those who have been educated. The other black African citizens who have been educated are in your countries and they are getting the jobs because you don't have the education, you don't have the certificate. You are so much into entertainment, excitement, and all that, but other people are doing the job because they're
Mhm.
well qualified. And now you are so mad at these people for
Mhm.
taking your job. So I want to tell them, take it easy, brothers and sisters.
Mm.
We are all Africans. We don't know our tomorrow. If you want to do things right, do it the right way. Let the immigration be at the forefront. Let the police be at the forefront. But we shouldn't be so rude and cruel to an extent that we
Mm.
are maiming and killing people.
Mhm.
We will not do that to South Africans. So I appreciate you, Citizen AY. I'm going to follow you right away. I know TikTok is trying to mess up with you today, but I'm following you, and I'll always follow you and support you and share and like your platform every time. Blessings.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you. I really appreciate that, and the support, and recommendation and recommending me to others. Thank you so much for that, and for everything you said. I hope many are listening. It is about understanding. We are hoping that South Africans will really get the message of what you just said there. Before I go to Nation Lover, let me play. I want to play something to you about this. This lady is the leader for the movement of immigration, immigrants going home and all of that. Let us listen to what she said.
If they feared for their lives, they wouldn't be here. Remember, they left their countries because they feared for their lives, didn't they? Now, if they fear for their lives, what's stopping them from going to the next country? Why are they still fighting to be in South Africa? If you fear for your life and you're an immigrant, this is the best time to go back home. And if you fear for your life, you ran away from your country because you feared for your life. Why are you fighting in South Africa? What are you fighting for? Because not your country. Go back and fight.
Please notice the Zulu attire. Now, the last time I saw the Zulu attire, the Zulu native wear, like a war, clothes, was when they were fighting the Boers and the British. So to turn this against their fellow Africans it's really it's a very regrettable, yeah, exactly. She dated, yeah, she did, and apparently she's upset. So to see, I mean, look at that. Now I'll play around for you more.
We also have our own problems now.
Okay, yeah. See that?
Home Affairs and the police have got to come together and have got to ensure that these organizations don't start going around as they have been doing in Johannesburg and demanding documentation from people and from migrants. This is unlawful. It's illegal. And in fact, we have a court case as CACs that we.
So I'm not going to listen to that person because to be honest, I think South Africans, we need to say this to you. You are being primed by the very people who still hold 72% of your farmland. This is not by accident. And the South African government are nothing but puppets. They are nothing but puppets. And we need to state this because you, as a South African, you think that immigrants are the ones who are causing you the problems. But the government has been controlled. It's been controlled. Okay, I've been suspended again by TikTok. Fine, it doesn't matter. I'm not gonna. We will continue. So the government of South Africa is being controlled by unseen hands of the colonials. That's the plain fact. Those in power, Ramaphosa, if anybody thinks Ramaphosa is the one making decisions, no way. He's not the one making decisions. They're telling him what to do. They're telling him, we will give you this if you do that. We will give you that if you do that. And that is what we need. We need brave leaders like the men behind me here, like Assimi Goïta, like General Chiani, and of course, Ibrahim Traore. We need brave leaders, brave African leaders that will stand up for the people. And the Botswana woman, she has spoken. I'll find the video. She said something. I hope I can get that video out. And I want you to, hopefully, I think I'm able to find the video. In the video, her vice president or deputy minister for mining or something was caught with stealing resources and making money. And she sacked him with immediate effect. So kudos to that woman. Let me find that video for you if I can find it. I hope I can see it. Because I saw that today and I was like, fantastic. This is what we need. We don't want people who are going to be telling us stories. We want people who will be working for the people of their country, putting the interest of their people first, not anybody else. Let me see. Can I see? No, I can't find it. Facebook. Okay, when I find that, I will bring it back to your attention. But I think it was definitely worth mentioning, and I thought fantastic. ADC Vanguard, typical show. No, okay. Anyway, we'll come back to it. So what I am saying is it is important for South Africans to know that many of these immigrants who are coming and being paid lower wages, oftentimes some of the companies that are run by these colonials, they undercut because they want to portray black people as lazy. But remember, South Africans, I want you to know this. The people who are telling you now, oh, it's immigrants, this is what their grandfather said. Let me see if I can find that for you. I want you to remember what their grandfather said. Their grandfather was, oh, sorry, 1 second. Here we are. Yeah. So here we go, Dorset. Cecil Rhodes said, every South African, when you hear your so-called white South Africans say anything to you about immigrants, remember, this is what Cecil Rhodes said about black people. He said, Rhodes' view was that black people needed to be driven off their land. To stimulate them to labor, to change their habits, it must be brought home to them. Rhodes said that in future, 9/10 of them will have to spend their lives in manual labor, and the sooner that is brought home to them, the better. Every single South African, black South African, remember that. The people who are telling you that they are your so-called white South African now, their ancestors took what belongs to you, gave it to them, and they haven't let go of it. 72%, at the time it was 90% of the land at the time. Now it is 72% of the farmland. Not to talk about the mines and the government. We need to be aware of this. The people that are giving you the problems are the people who still own 72% of your farmland. Never forget that. Never, ever, ever forget that. So when you are confronting, fellow Africans, and you're telling them to leave your land, when we leave, do you think that will solve your problem? Seriously. The main problem that South Africans have is their land. Thank you very much. Exactly. Hell no. Their land still in the hands of the colonials, and they have to walk that line. They have to confront that injustice because their resources, their land, their wealth has become a generational wealth for those who colonized them, and they who have been part of that soil from the ancestors, they have been suffering. So I am trying very hard to pinpoint this. I understand why South Africans are upset, but you see, you are falling for the trick of the colonials. The colonials are saying, look, it's their fault, it's their fault. But the colonials are the ones driving the government. You know what? They're playing politics with the lives of the people. They're playing politics with the politicians in power. They're saying, you know what? If you want to stay in power, tell them it's immigrants. Because they know full well that majority of the immigrants, all of the immigrants are black people. So they want to create a division among black people on the African continent and South Africans, so that when they now turn and face them, they're upset with the wrong. Thank you very much, Lady Max. So when we Africans separate from black South Africans, then they will have the ground to do. The colonials would be able to set a fence around them and do as they please. The Western Cape, they are after that. They are very much after that. So even though I am upset with what South Africans are doing, it is in our interest that we don't let this happen. We mustn't, because if they do that, they'll be doing that in other places. And we cannot let that happen. So South African brothers, you need to wake up. We are telling you now, they're playing a game with your mind. And we need to make sure that every single South African, that land, 72% of those land, that 72% farmland, it belongs to you and your family. 72% of the land there belongs to you and your family. Because how can somebody from Bishop Stortford dictate your future? He's got his own farmland. Nobody. Let me ask you. Let me show you. I'll show you the house that he was born. Let me show you. Let me show you the house that he was born. You see this diamond base. This is all paperwork to steal what belongs to you and I. You won't be able to see what I'm showing you on Facebook, on YouTube, but on TikTok you can see. But I will do another program on there, or I might play this video later on there for you. But we're talking about Cecil Rhodes, and I want to just show you their family house, which he grew up in Bishop Stortford. Now, those of you on YouTube, TikTok, you can see that is his birthplace in Bishop Stortford. It's now been made a museum. So they are protecting his own history in UK. But what about your history, South Africans? What about your history? Don't you have a right to remember? Don't you have a right to remember your own ancestors on your land? He is their ancestor, Cecil Rhodes. They are protecting his history. They've made his home into a museum in the UK. But you, as an African, as a black South African, your claim to the land has been taken from you. And they want you to be blaming immigrants to be the ones who have taken that land from you. No. The immigrants have been put in there as a distraction. They are there to help, to try and get make a living. But they are not the problem. They are not the problem. And in many African countries, all over Africa, let me state this, all over Africa, all of these multinational companies, this is what they do. They keep buying, they keep using politicians to take land off the people of the who own that land. That's what they keep doing. And when they do that, they make the lives of the locals hard. They force them out because they are always coming after our mineral resources. We are facing the same problems if you think about it, South Africans. We are facing the same problems. It might look different because they've taken your land from you. But in what they've done now they're now trying to do the same thing to Africans, but in a clever way. Because the end result is always to be able to take our resources on the cheap. Similar issues, exactly. So we have to be very, very awake to this. My fellow South Africans, why is it okay for Cecil Rhodes and the family to have a museum in his name in UK? But it is not okay for you to take back the land that belongs to you and your ancestors. Why? I'd just like to know that question. Why is it not okay? Can you see the similarity now? He's laying claim. You cannot lay claim to two places at once. You are born in Bishop Stortford in the UK. You belong to UK. You come and you take other people's land. And that is what you need to understand, South Africans. I wanted to do this in a particular way. So of course, I believe in this is it. Yes, brother. Yes, of course. Power and how it affects generation. Absolutely. And these people now, they have a sense of entitlement. It was the way of my ancestors, so I'm going to continue it. Because that's what they've been trained to do. They've been programmed to do that. But now, we are going to bring all of that down. We are in the age of awareness. And we need to stop it. Because if we do not stop this, this would go on across the whole Africa. And it is already happening. Look at Congo. Look at Sudan. Look at what they're trying to do. They're trying to come back. Look at what they tried to do in Mali. They tried to take out General Assimi Goïta. Thankfully, he had prepared. He had prepared, and of course, the AES now came and supported them. AES had 15,000 troops, and they went in and supported General Assimi Goïta, plus the Russian Africa force that they had as well. And they didn't think that was going to happen. We must support Alliance of Sahel States. Yes, we should learn from Iran. Absolutely. I'll bring you in to talk about that. Let me go to Nature Lover. Nature Lover, let's hear from you. You've been there for a while. Thank you. Let's hear from you and I'll carry on. Go ahead.
Yeah, thank you so much for your work, Dan.
Thank you.
What you are doing is very good. I like that. It's just that sometimes you vanish and come back. I remember we used to talk every day, but later on you vanished and came back, which is good.
The problem is that sometimes TikTok started messing with my platform, so I just couldn't be. They were just blocking me so much. I just got fed up with it, so I would use other platforms. So yeah, that's why. So sometimes you just see me, I'm not able to do it. I'm like, okay, fine. When I'm, so yeah.
Okay.
Thank you. So, but how welcome. It's a pleasure seeing you join us again, my brother. Go ahead.
Yeah, thank you. For the South Africa case, we all are talking about, I cannot say all of them, some of them. Majority are the tribe, the Zulu tribe. I mean, from the way I see things and other people are telling me, I think it's the Zulu tribe that are majority doing that thing. Not all of them, but like majority. So, but one thing I want to tell all of us is that it doesn't mean I don't learn something from what South Africa are doing. In fact, I learn from them. I cannot insult them. But the problem we are all talking about, I think they don't understand what some of us are always saying. How can I against South Africa? Even look at your name. Your name is South Africa. No country is even attached Africa to their country. But your name is even South Africa. In fact, you're supposed to, if you are like that and you started buying or unaliving your fellow Africans, so what does that mean, bro? Let us always be honest here. You know, like I said, there are certain things that like especially when they're talking about go and then go to your country and develop your country.
Yeah.
That kind of statement that they make. Yes, of course, it's very painful, but somehow is the truth they are telling us. And somehow too, it's not true. Because I asked a question one day that, okay, if you are telling Nigeria to go, how many Nigerians are in South Africa? So if you are telling the few that are in South Africa to go and fix their country, what about the majority that are in Nigeria? Are they more than those who are in the Nigeria itself? So how if the majority cannot even fix it, now you are chasing the few ones that are in there, build their wealth there. You are chasing them to go and fix it. Just imagine you are telling, it's just like you are telling the chicken to go and then help the mother when the mother is even stronger than the chicken itself.
Yeah.
How?
Yeah.
You know, but in the other way, where I say it's true is also like, you know, we are also too comfortable in traveling. Anywhere our people are, like there are some people who are not supposed to even travel. There are some of us who can do well in our various hometowns. But because of traveling, it's now become rampant that everybody can just pick their bag and say, I'm going here, I'm going here, I'm going here. So what they are doing is actually making some people also rethink about traveling. Not just traveling anyhow, you know. So that's also the good part they are doing, and some of us are also learning from. Because before I travel right now, I have to think twice. Okay, in my country, what is lacking that I have to travel to this place? What do I need? You know? But if they wouldn't do that, some people are like, oh, let me just travel anyhow. You just sit down. Since you just don't get job for some few months, you say, let me just travel to South Africa. Let me just travel to here. You know, so that aspect, in both places, they are right. And what we are also saying is right, because majority of the people are in Nigeria, majority of the people are in Ghana, majority of the people are in Zimbabwe. So if they cannot fix their country and they are majority, so now the few ones that you are chasing away and you are unaliving them, I mean, how are they going to fix that country, bro?
Yeah, exactly.
Know? And then when you also come to the when you come to the statement that they make about we're gonna fix our country, if they go, I want you people to go and then we fix our problem before you come back.
Yeah.
And then also they are saying that when they ask them the question, what about the white people who are there? You are not fighting them, but you are rather fighting the black people. They are saying that we want to deal with our black people first, then we deal with the South African. And
Which
when
is
you ask them, they don't even have a clear plan.
yeah,
How they
exactly.
gonna deal with the white people after they deal with their own brothers. They don't have plan. Bro,
Exactly.
let's be honest. If you chase these are our brothers away and leave yourself because they want you to create enmity between you and the other countries, your other brothers. Okay? And the time they will hold your balls, they know the other black people will say, we are not coming. Okay? They will know they want you to create enmity. You have to be very smart. Because there's no way you can actually take these people away by you, South African alone.
Yeah, yeah.
Just imagine the apartheid time. How many countries in Africa support?
Yeah.
They are not even able to eradicate these people.
No.
You, as South African, telling me that you are going to deal with them. How are you going to deal with them by yourself alone?
Yeah.
I mean, sometimes all the reasons they are giving, in fact, I always laugh because they don't have any clear clue
No.
about how they are going to go by what they think is the solution.
Yeah, yeah. Indeed.
You alone cannot do it.
No. No, no.
You know?
Absolutely.
They make enemies and they are creating. You are talking about powder. Powder, let me tell you, the giant one, the ones that are doing the powder is in your country. They are the big, big people. They are the big, big people. You guys, those ones you see on the street are not even, they don't even know how those things come to the country. They don't even know. So it's just like you go and deal with. So now, if you are chasing the immigrants away, instead of you to deal with the real cause of the problem, your politicians are the cause of all these problems. Instead of you to be attacking them, you are attacking these people. Okay, you are attacking illegal immigrants, all of them. Fine. Think about it like this. If you don't attack your politician and you keep on attacking these illegal immigrants, and then the border, your government keep on bringing people while you are attacking people, and they keep on bringing the people. So what are you solving?
Exactly.
What are you solving? So you have to deal with the politicians who are at the border. You have to actually match the way you were marching on the immigrant. Match like that to the border and stand on the border yourself. Just like the way you take the law into your hands yourself and do. So that the immigration officer will know that you people are really serious. But dealing with these people, okay, if you are dealing with the immigrant and they keep on taking money and bringing immigrant in. And bringing keep up. So what are you solving? That's why I'm telling you that they don't always give a clear example of how they are going to solve the problem in any action they are taking, any angle and any comment they make. I don't see any clear. They cannot sit down and say, okay, we will do it like this. After that, we do it like this. After that, we do it like this. For you to know that these people actually have a clue about what they are doing. The system is the problem. Tackle the system. Let me tell you, if you tackle the system right now, although whether illegal immigrant or whoever in that country, they themselves will start hiding. If they involved in this illegal you are talking about, if the system is working, you attack the system, and the system started working. In fact, all these illegal immigrants and all those who have papers and keep on doing the pure you are talking about and powder you are talking about, in fact, all of them will stop what they're doing, or they will start hiding. But why you are just doing, you are not doing anything. Why you are doing that, the elite are protecting some of them. Okay, even if you don't know, the elite, those that they are working for, they are protecting them. They are bringing, man, I don't know, let me land in here, and then some people also came in.
Yeah.
So we don't deal with situations like that. You have to check the cause, the root cause of the problem. Then you tackle that one. Then you done it. But what you are just doing, you are rather creating enmity between other people and yourself. Don't do that. We don't do that. Nobody supporting the illegal immigrant. Nobody stop supporting the buying and all that kind of thing you are saying. But listen, when you are not trained for something, don't take that, don't behave like you know, because you are not immigration officer. How will you go to the street and start asking people, what is your document? What is your document? So if they give you a fake one, how are you going to identify whether it is fake or genuine? How are you going to do it? But they are trained for that. That's why you are beating people who even have documents. You know? And then I heard some of them say that you can know the illegal immigrant by the way they behave. That because that they have, if you see anybody having a shop, anybody that have a shop, that means the person is illegal.
Yes.
Just imagine this kind of talk.
Yeah, it's not
So meaning anybody that is there and he has a shop, immigrant that have a shop or having a hair salon or anything like that, or selling something on the street,
yes,
that means those people are illegal immigrants. Somebody make that comment. I was just
I know.
my goodness. So how can you think like this?
No, it's no.
How can you think like this?
No, you're right. No, thank you so much, Nature Lover. Thank you. Thank you for your comments. I really appreciate your knowledge, and I'm trying to break it down. And I think it's really important that we explain and we reach out to South Africans. Not all South Africans are xenophobic. I will say that. But a number are doing things that that are just not acceptable. Let me quickly go to Mukulu Congo, then we'll just say a few words, then I'll bring in Zion Selassie. Go ahead.
Thank you, brother. I want to say something quick. Because in order to solve a problem, you have to go to the root cause of the problem, right? Steve Biko said the greatest weapon the oppressor has is the oppressed mind. And Dr. Cody G. Woodson, the miseducation of the Negro, said,
yes,
if you control a man's thinking, you don't have to worry about his action. There's a professor from Cameroon. He taught at the University of Pretoria by the name of Achille Mbele, right? Bembe. He's a good prominent Pan-Africanist in Africa. He said something, but because you see, during Mobutu presidency, when Congo was Zaire, right? Mobutu, to acknowledge, to empathize with South African, he did mandate the study of the history of apartheid, right? If you go to Congo, we still have a curriculum of apartheid, right? If you speaking from empathy approach, you will pity South Africans, right? Like I say, the minds. The reason why the apartheid governments introduced Bantu education, it was to keep Black South African, majority were Zulu, because other tribe, they passed the test because many of the Xhosa, they saw they were a little bit lighter. They were mixed with the colored. That's why the oppression was not that heavy on them. So when it comes to Black South Africans, majority, the darkest skin, they faced a living hell. So what they did, the Bantu education, that's what I asked the brother citizen if he believed in the power of trauma.
Absolutely.
The problem with South Africa, it's the same thing happened with our fellow Black American, right? After they were free, there was no a tangible follow-up. They were left by their own. They just get off of something without treatment, trauma. It's the same thing, because we all know, if you understand, thank you, post-traumatic, Dr. Joy the Groove. She's my favorite. Thank you, brother. I like that. Yeah. So we don't understand the trauma. We all know, if you know the politics, 1994 was a compromise. It was a fake democracy. The only way Black South Africa could get around, and the thing is also the same way, you guys have to study the line. The same way, even in America, the civil rights was not because Black people fought to end it. It started costing white power structures money economically. So desegregation was imminent. They had to desegregate to open economic doors to Negro to spend their money.
Exactly.
So what they did, how can you make decision when you don't have political and economic and social power? That's Black South Africa, the ANC.
Mm.
So what they did, because you see this xenophobic, it's white funded. They use Black politician elites to brainwash the masses. Brother, listen to this. I have friends, family in South Africa. The reason, and I want you guys to, in 2020, because I'm a Pan-Africanist, right? Like Marcus Garvey said, Black people's problem anywhere are Black people's problem everywhere.
Exactly.
The brother the host said, we all have the same problem. It just depends on who, where some of it depends on execution. We all face the same thing, and that's also one of the rules we don't understand when it comes to white supremacy. Because, brother, you see, South Africa is the most confused society. In order, like Neely Fuller said, if you can confuse people, you can always dominate them. The white ruling power, they use ANC because, like Frantz Fanon said, black skin, white mask. They have to use the black to oppress other black. So ANC elites, and that's the broad horse. You made a very good point that they're going to, because you see, whether we like it or not, when black, they're gonna get tired of the ANC. Guess where they're gonna send the power back to the DA.
Yeah.
When DA gets the power, because what was the apartheid? It was just nothing but policies.
Yeah.
So that's exactly what's going to happen. So we have to be very, very careful. Like in my case, when I talk to South Africans, I pity them. I see their pain.
Mm.
They haven't recovered here mentally. They still facing trauma. I'm not saying that they have to do what they're doing to other fellow Africans, but we also have to be a little bit sympathized with them. They still need to recover mentally.
Yeah.
Because, brother, we have to be honest. Like Dr. Kwame Nkrumah said, we have to have a little bit of empathy. We have to empathize with one another.
Mhm.
Because South African, they fought, but the oppression, what they went through, none of us went
Mhm.
through the same thing that like they did. We have to be honest,
Mhm.
right? We were able to kick our colonizer, but the only settler remained was those people, and they had to deal with them probably for the rest of the life. Because if Black South Africa decide to kick these people out, I don't think it's going to be World War III or I don't know. So we have to be very careful. And I love host what you're pushing. We're not anti-Black South African. We understand their behavior. So we're not speaking from ignorance point. We're speaking from how can we help those people to understand you're not the problem. And because I'm going to land by this host, what do you think that this propaganda is especially targeting Nigeria? Who, many African countries did help, but Nigeria was the big dog.
Exactly.
You see, Nigeria was the big dog during apartheid. In Nigeria, I mean, host, I don't know how old are you, probably did march. If you're from Ghana, if you're from Nigeria, you guys were forced to do many marches against the apartheid.
Yes, yeah, there was, and civil servants were paying a part of their salary to actually support South Africa.
Thank you. So you lived that time. So you know exactly what I'm talking about. So they have to use Nigeria as a scapegoat because I think, host, we have to be honest, right? I live in the US, but our Nigerian brother, we have bad apples. Ghana, Nigeria, those countries in diaspora, the English speaking, they are the most opening people when it comes to outside of Africa. I've never been in Ghana. I've never been in Nigeria, but I can say from experience, the brothers and sisters, they know what they say. Brother, this. They're more welcoming outside, So they have to use them. So once Nigeria say, okay, because let's say if Nigeria say, okay, you guys are unaliving our people, we're gonna do you know that South Africa economy heavily depend on Nigeria? They have many businesses in Nigeria.
Yeah.
So I think, thank you, host, what you're doing. We're not spewing hate. We don't hate South Africa. We love them. But we also want to make them understand your problem is not Black foreign African, foreign national
Yes.
to educate you. That's why they don't like listen to Julius Malema.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Yeah,
Exactly.
so that's what I wanted to.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you for your comments there. I think it's very important that all of us we have to make sure. Yes, of course, we know that their focus right now is immigrants, and that's what they think. But if we can get them to look past that and understand the real issue are people like this guy here, who's the head of that DA party, and they're trying to control Africa. These are immigrants and they want to control, and they're going to, that means another 60 to 80 years or 100 years of black people ending up in manual labor, as said by his great ancestor Cecil Rhodes. We can't let that happen. So yeah, to repost, they're not letting anybody. I'll bring you up quickly. African Revolution, very good point. They're blocking it. Zion Selassie, welcome. Let's hear from you. Thank you. Go ahead. Thank you. Greetings. Thank you.
I like what you're hosting. I'm a West Indian person, but I've been to Africa. I've traveled extensively all over the world. I'm gonna give you a simple experience that I had like 10 years ago. One of my Jamaican brothers calls me and he said, look, there's an African guy who needs a place to stay because his wife kicked him out and his wife was a white lady. I didn't know where the brother was from, but I agreed to take him in because I love Africans, right? So the brother came over to my house. He was from South Africa. He didn't have any money, and I decided to put him up. I gave him a room in my house that I was staying at the time, and he didn't have a job. So after about 3 weeks, he got a job in a restaurant to cook food, and I asked him to tell me about South Africa, and he told me that his dad is rich. His dad has, I think, a diamond mine or something, and his mom was the first psychologist, and he had a brother and a sister. He says one brother was in London, but he died of an overdose of powder in London. And then he says the sister also died in South Africa from alcohol. So he continued to stay in my house. He got a job. He was not making good money. He was making like about 500 a week. And then after a next few months, like he landed a good job making like about 1,100 a week, which was a great job. So he started paying me some money that he had owed me, back rent and all of that. He started paying me. And the second week of that job that he started making $1,000, he started bringing in a lot of girls now and bottles of Hennessy, some big bottles of Hennessy. And, it was just partying and drinking and all of that stuff. So I said, my brother, why don't you save your money? Because, before you didn't have a $1,000 job, and you never know when you're going to lose this cooking job again. And you should save your money instead of buying all these bottles of Hennessy and coming in and drinking and doing all of this stuff. He didn't listen to me. He tell me that, South Africans are better than Ethiopians, they're better than Nigerian. And I'm saying, my brother, why are you thinking like that? I didn't expect this of you at all. That's not a good way for your mind to be thinking. What makes you thinking like you're better than all the other African countries? So this time I start to realize, wow, I never know this is how some Africans think. I'm like, wow, this is crazy. So within a little while, one night he came in, he looked like he was drinking. He came in with a girl, and two girls he came in with, and he said he bought one for me. I said, no, my brother, I'm pretty good. I'm pretty good. Anyway, he went to the room, and later on in the night, one of the ladies left, and one of the ladies stayed, and she continued staying for about a week. So I said, my brother, I rented you a space. I didn't rented you a room for two people. It's for one person. You can bring your girl, but she have to leave after a weekend or whatever. She can't stay for the week. He says, okay. Then he left. He came back later on in the night. I was in my space. He came, knock on my door, and I opened the door. I said, my brother, what's going on? Are you okay? He goes to me, this effing girl is not going anywhere. I said, my brother, please, It looks like you've been drinking. I do not want to hear this have this conversation right now. Can you please talk tomorrow? He come into my room now and says, I said she's not going no effing way. I say, my brother, please, could you step out my room and go back to your room with your girl? We talk about this tomorrow, right? Then he raised his hand. I said, my brother, are you raising your hand to fight me in my own house? That I bring you in without when you was on the streets and you didn't have any way to live? Are you trying to fight me? Then he raised up his hand more and he seemed like he was coming down to hit me in my face. I block him and then we start fighting. I haven't been fighting because I'm pretty much, I haven't been fighting for like 15 years. That was when I was a teenager or in my only early 20s. So we start fighting. I had a next guy living with me in the room and his girl was in the back. So after we start fighting now, and I had to put some blows on this guy, you know what I mean? And he had some dreads. I ripped them out and he was bleeding from his mouth. And then his girlfriend, who's from Tanzania, opened the door and said, please don't kill him. Let him go. Let him go. Let him go. And then my other friend came out from the room and he says, I'm a Rasta, so he had my hair wrapped around his hand so I couldn't get loose. So my friend loosed my hands, and after I got up after him, he went to the room. And I said, wow, look at this guy. I bring him into my house, and now he's in my house trying to fight me and trying to have all this drinking and doing all of this stuff. And I says, and the morning when I get up now, I was saying, this brother has to go. He can't stay here anymore. So I went to my kitchen in the morning and I heard his room door opening up. And then he came out and he said, my brother, you beat me up last night. You whipped my ass. And I start laughing. And then he says, that's what we do in Africa. He says, now you are the king. Now you are the king. I said, my brother, I never see anything like this in my life. I mean, this is crazy. I said, anyway, my brother, you're going to have to leave because I don't like to fight and I don't want to be fighting you in my house. So I give you a month. You're going to have to get out my place. So that's my experience of the first South African ever. Mind you now, I have lived with Nigerians. I have lived with Ethiopians. I've lived with people from all over Africa because I rented rooms and they used to come to rent rooms. I lived with people from Germany, from Spain, from Israel, from everywhere in the world, and never had a fight. The only two persons who I had confrontation with was with the South African and a Black American guy. Nobody else. So that was my experience. I just wanted to share with you guys.
Wow.
And I don't support what they're doing and right now. I don't support because to me this is a simple strategy of divide and conquer. Divide and conquer. Simple.
Yeah.
Thank you, my brother.
Yeah, thank you. Wow. Thank you for sharing that story with us, Zion Selassie. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. And I think we need to, people need to know this. And of course, again, I say it, one of the things I really want to, I'm pushing for in Africa, and indeed in the whole of the melanated world, we are going through trauma. We are literally going through trauma in every part of the world. And we are going to have to set up trauma clinics in our communities to heal us from the inside. We have to set that up from the inside, from one community to the next. Because if we don't do that, we will keep making the same mistakes. And we need to put a stop to it. So, but I'm so glad that you shared this with us, and I'm hoping that we can learn. And I'm sure there will be one or two South Africans that will probably still be more African in their thinking, but quite a number will be obviously going through what they're not able to connect properly because they're under the influence of something that is turning them against themselves, if you see what I mean.
Yes, and mind you, my brother, I'm a person who went to march in Manhattan against apartheid. It's crazy.
It is. But thank you so much. Thank you for sharing that. And I will please. It's a pleasure having you join us. I believe I'm following you. I better follow you back. I'm following you right back. So it's fantastic. Please do stay and join us, and I really appreciate your comments. Let me go to African Evolution. He's been waiting for some time. Is very very a passionate supporter of everything African, and it's a real pleasure having him join us. African Revolution, go ahead. Let's hear from you.
Hello, greetings to everyone. And
Thank you.
I wanted to tackle here about the issue of the xenophobia in South Africa is that it is going to be, we are taking it in too much in an emotional way. So we are all traumatized, not just the South Africans. First of all, if we think about South Africa, I'm saying it as a Ghanaian, so I am also emotionally, touched by the images, because there are Ghanaian citizens there who were, subjected to bad things, bad behavior. I don't want to see words that restricts the lives even further, but basically, we do not have to take this in an emotional way. Yes, it's correct to identify the fact that even whatever issues there are in South Africa with immigration from other African countries,
Mhm.
what I always say is that the South Africans are basically, I'm not seeing it in a bad way.
Mhm.
They are poor people, just like we, the other African going there, are also poor people. And so instead of fighting each other, because we are all people with no money,
Mhm.
instead of fighting other people who also has no
No
money,
money.
it's better to fight the people who has all the money, which is the ones who have control over policies, over financial control and the decision making room. So it's true that it is the same in every country that is experiencing immigration, that the elites will use the immigrants as scapegoats and as an element to, to further their profits also,
Mhm.
because immigrants are basically cheap labor, so they are
Yeah.
keeping the labor price low
Mhm.
in
Mhm.
order to have more profit.
Exactly.
The enemy is never another poor people. It's always the people with all the money. That being said, it's also important to identify that this problem is not unique to South Africa. As a Ghanaian, I can say that we even today we have issues with other immigrants, like the Nigerians in particular, but
Mhm.
also other foreigners who are also in Ghana here as immigrants. We have issues with them, even
Mhm.
if it's not gone violent at the moment, but it there is, this hatred of poor people fighting other poor people.
Mhm.
And also talking about South Africa, I think that it would be a dream if in my country, Ghana, or in any other country,
Yeah.
people would vote at a ballot, some 10% of the votes going to a party like the EFF,
Mm.
Economic Freedom Fighters, which is, a party that it is has an agenda, has, going to the root cause. They are basically looking upwards towards the people with all the money, instead of looking to the people who also don't have any of the money. This is the fact that South Africa has something like 10% of the population that vote that party is something unique in Africa, actually.
Yeah.
So we don't have to think that South Africans are, something like less intelligent than the rest of us. Actually, they also the fact that they are experienced the worst version of colonialism, which is settler colonialism. This makes them even more aware. If you look around in Africa, you see that, for example, the Francophone countries usually have more awareness, because French colonialism is, I don't want to say worse, but more direct, more evident. If you have a country that even your money is printed abroad and all that stuff on the colonial pacts and all that stuff, it's easier to people to wake up, instead of us, the English speaking countries, that we are not even aware of the problem. I don't say all, of course, but many. Okay. And so this is my take actually, because if we think that we are also distracted by this issue actually, because for example, if we have to talk about South Africa, I think it is a way more important thing talking about, for example, the fact that there is the leader of this EFF party, Julius Malema, who has been sentenced to 5 years in prison. And the EFF is basically the only party in South Africa which is not founded by the Oppenheimers in South Africa. So this is the issue also that I wanted to highlight. This issue is going to be used as a distraction, especially we in the English-speaking countries of Africa. We are more focused on that rather than what is going on, for example, in Mali, where there are these terror imperialists. I will define them as such because this is the best definition for them. Because they are not just the groups who are fighting for, an extremist religious way. Because you will not do so. And when you see where they attack, where they displace people, it's always placed with rich mineral resources underneath the ground. There are studies also about Nigeria, for example, the Middle Belt, the Fulani banditry and all that stuff. It focuses on communities where there are a lot of mineral resources there. They displace people.
Correct.
Basically for the multinational, that they will not have to deal with people claiming their land, where they will have to, take their rights and all that stuff. It is whenever there is, atrocities going on in Africa, it's always where there is the richest mineral resources underneath the ground. Just look at the eastern part of the DRC, for example, DRC Congo. So we have to, be it's, of course, as I say, I am touched myself, of course, when I see that imagery that comes from South Africa. But we have to, try to control our emotions and bring in the logical thinking, the rationale. Because if we are, if we focus on the enemy knows very well how to play with us. They are in control of all the media and social media platforms.
They know how to manipulate.
They know very well how to manipulate. For example, we are talking about stuff very important here, and we see that the live is restricted. We cannot repost. We cannot. Maybe no, we can. We still cannot repost. And so, what I wanted to, highlight is this: we have to be more pragmatic and be focused on the architecture of this system that we are fighting. And so if you look at it, and this is the key that I'm using to read all this situation in Africa right now, I see that we are distracted talking about South Africa, and because you Citizen AI, you are doing it in a way to reconciliate people, but most of the lives are divisive. The title are just bantering and touching people in their ego, and so the life revolves in a perpetual fight. And while this is going on, we are losing sight on the important things that are doing, like Malema is arrested, like what is happening in Mali and in the Sahel, for example. All these things, we have to be more pragmatic and keep our ego and our emotions down in order to look into the eye of the problem.
Exactly.
Or the problem will never be solved.
Exactly. We have to be dispassionate. Yeah. Thank you so much. Thank you, African Revolution. Thank you for those comments. And I think it's important that it's important that you actually stated it that way, because we should stop singing Kumbaya. Well said, the truth. And you've joined us. I think it's very important to actually reiterate the point you said there. We need to remove emotions, and that's what I try to do. Because on the one hand, I'm looking at what they're doing on the streets, but I had to dig beneath it and remind myself of those statements that I read. And I want to say to people so that we know that the ancestors of the colonials who are owning 73% of the 72% of the farmland in South Africa said these words. And I want also to remember that. It says here, Rhodes' view was that Black people needed to be driven off their land, stimulate them to labor, and to change their habits. It must be brought home to them, Rhodes said, that in future, 9/10 of them will have to spend their lives in manual labor. And the sooner that is brought to them, the better. The point I'm making is that we have to remind South Africans of what the people that they are saying, oh, they are with us now, that their ancestors said. And what their ancestors said is their lived daily experience. They are in manual labor, they are in poverty. So when we can remind them of that, we can now say, okay, we understand why you are misdirecting your anger, but by us exposing this, it will wake you up to focus on solving the underlying issue rather than the symptoms. We need to focus on the main issue, and hopefully that is what will come about. But thank you very much. Let me go to the truth. Welcome. What would you like to say? Thank you very much.
Hey, how you doing, my brother?
Good things. Pleasure having you join us.
Thank you, sir.
All right.
And I just want to say hi to the other people in the panel. For me, my brother, I'm just very straight and blunt. I don't have time to sing Kumbaya. When you put one finger of pepper, you put one of your finger into pepper, sharp one, and put it into my eyes. I will go back and take 5 fingers of my 5 fingers, put it into the pepper and choke it into your eye and twist it until the eyeball comes out. I don't believe, my brother, I don't believe in all this singing kumbaya. We want to use diplomatic whatever and be diplomatic, and they are unaliving our people. I don't care where that person from Nigeria come from. You can be Hausa, Igbo, Yoruba, whatever, Bini, Nupe, Gwari, I don't care. As long as that person is born in Nigeria, is a Nigerian native, and you are unaliving him in your country, and you want me now to come and be diplomatic. Kutuburo Ubensu, Zenchu Ubensu. I don't care. I'm going to deal with you the same way. You see all your MTN, Glow, and all your MTN or whatever you from South Africa, I will shut it down. I don't care if they employ millions of Nigerians. There are Nigerian billionaires that can buy over those establishments in Nigeria, and the Nigerians will still be working in that company, but the original licensed people should leave. You know how I'm going to do it? Now, if you own MTN in Nigeria, and you own the other television station and the other yada, yada, yada. Okay? Now, you got 2 options. You bring your headquarters of your company into Nigeria, your headquarters.
Yeah.
And I'll make sure that all the money you earned, you put it there in Nigeria. 65% of your earnings will be left in Nigeria for tax and other things to develop Nigeria. So, who born monkey? You be making money from my country, taking it to your country, and be dealing with my people in your country, beating them, matching them up and down. And you know the funny things, these South Africans that are going these dundulas, they got their little dick between their leg and hopping around like a bunny, and they cannot fight the white South Africans that are giving them the ass whoop of their life. Go and check a video. They all came out, they was buffing around. Look, eight what you call it, boas give South African whoop. They were running with their fat ass, looking like the ass of Pepeye, running around. They couldn't face those people.
Oh my goodness.
When it comes to Nigerians, 2 people, no, my brother, there is no diplomacy. They did it the first time, Nigerians was quiet. Now they're doing it the second time. Make we not catch them. They will come play football for Nigeria now. Say they play football or any athlete. Make they carry their fans come. We go give them Bula line Koboko. I spend money buy Koboko. You see those Koboko with 4 or 5 arms. Go soak them inside water. TDB Max Mama them where they'll get back themselves. My brother, look, there is time to joke. There is time to tolerate this bullshit. Let me ask you a question. Who do you think is behind this thing? Do you think those clueless South Africans who not go school that are running around taking, do you think they are the one with their straight mind doing this? Somebody is instigating.
Exactly.
So, my brother, listen, somebody is instigating them from behind. And who is instigating them to do that? The Muzungu. There was a video I saw A white Dutchman came out, mixed up Asian, came out and said, enough is enough. We South African, you are white. We South African, enough is enough. And
Yeah.
and check what he said. He used Dutch to say enough is enough. Genoeg is genoeg. We South Africa. Who born your mama and your papa? Who tell you say you be South Africa? Who tell you say you
Yeah.
be South Africa?
Yeah. It's
Look, I live in Europe. Okay, my brother,
yeah.
I live in Europe, and I've been here for 30 years. I've got their nationality. Look, who I be to go and stand to Germans and tell them, knock my chest, this is my country, and now I want to do this. They go pursue you, come off for their country.
Exactly. Exactly.
So why do we tolerate this crap? People will come to our country, they'll shit on us. France will come do their own. America will come. The other, what you call him, Donald Duck, we not get, we in prick, they like the one of bird prick, even in the winter, will come and shit on us. Everybody will come to Africa. The other, what you call it, the other, no, my brother is annoying. The other the other Russian guy came to Ghana, went to Kenya, was videoing our women. They take the guys, the audition to the wall.
Yeah, that was off. Yeah.
We not still do anything. We still stand here. Ghana will now come. After they don't eat kinke and watch it, their belly full, like somebody will drink rice water, they'll come and impose on Nigeria. Nigeria must go. Now we have to give them back the same thing. If you attack Nigerians, we will attack you the same way. The only way to beat back a bully is to give him the same medication. We should stop Nigeria. We are too nice. We want to be good so that people know. If they say we are bad, let's be bad. You beat me, I will beat you. You punch me once, you get 20 punches.
Yeah,
I think the state.
Yeah.
Should stop. My brother, I'm sick and tired of all this bullshit we get. We come on TikTok, everybody will attack us. The moment you open your mouth, you say you're Nigerian, hey, yes, come on. They don't see anything positive about us. But the richest man in Nigeria is building the biggest oil refinery, bigger than the one he has in Lagos, in Tanga, in Tanzania.
Yes.
And it's helping Kenya, it's helping Tanzania, helping Uganda, Burundi, and all those places. The richest man in Nigeria. Now, tell me the richest man in South Africa. What has gone in South Africa? What is this guy's name? Elon Musk. They not fit talk to Elon Musk, Papa. Now we be there.
No.
Elon Musk make money in South Africa, run to their whitey people in America. He's the richest man in that. Why didn't he bring Tesla to start operating Tesla in South Africa and give these dudulas we not get brain when they work, their brain did their leg, may give them a job. Why did you not go fight up? My brother, that's why that's where I'm going to stop. Enough is enough. If you're a Nigerian and you stay quiet and you don't talk about this, make we take action, I will go and conjure Ahmad Yoha to come punish that person.
Thank you very much. Wow. You said it. I think, in times like this, we do have to speak frankly about issues. And I thank you for your frankness. I know I was laughing, and please, I wasn't taking what you were saying lightly. I wasn't taking anything you said at all lightly, but I was just conjuring up images of what the sort of, shall we say, some South Africans that are xenophobic, how they were reasoning, and how what you were saying was exactly the kind of thing they needed to see hitting them smack that no, you can't do that, but of course, trying to solve the problem, overall, we need a slightly different approach. But of course, those who are engaged in that kind of things, they need to be faced on head on to make them realize, no, don't wait, yes, it's keep exactly, kids don't laugh, but it's good humor. Exactly. So I'm really grateful for that. Thank you. Let me just play this, because the Nigerian National Assembly, they had one or two things to say about what was going on in South Africa, and I think it's good to 1 second to listen to that. Give me 1 sec. My phone battery. For those of you on YouTube, thank you for joining. You are, of course, listening to Citizen AY, the platform where we speak truth to power. I'm really grateful for you joining me. Please continue to leave comments. I will try and read it. Here's one comment that I saw. They, the enemy, are sitting back and laughing at us while we continue to unalive and insult and disrespect each other. Exactly. So we need to be very, very cognizant of that at that point. Well said, Synovia Ridley and others. I'm really, really grateful. Please continue to leave your comments. I'll try and read as many as I can. And please don't forget, when you come and join us, give us a thumbs up on YouTube, help us grow. And of course, those of you who are on TikTok, you can also subscribe to Citizen AY on YouTube also. Now, let us listen to briefly what the Nigerian Senator, Senator Oshiomhole, said about this issue. Go ahead.
Eric Oshiomhole, I represent the people of Edo North. I do not intend to repeat any of the statements that have been made very eloquently by all of those who have spoken. And my point is not only informed by the fact that we were all contributors to the struggle against apartheid. I remember very well that it was because of the struggle against apartheid that a Nigerian president, then head of state, Murtala Mohammed, declared before the Americans that Henry Kissinger, who was Secretary of State, was not welcome to Nigeria. In the words of General Murtala Mohammed, he said the era of gunboat diplomacy was over. Nigeria's commitment to eradication of apartheid is non-negotiable. And they proceeded to nationalize British Petroleum because the British too were supporting apartheid. So I can understand the pain that where we have built relationship, today we are looked at as if we are a body. But for me, sir, I didn't come to the Senate to lament what is not right. And I know that in diplomacy, there is the law of reciprocity. What are the issues in South Africa? The president of South Africa did campaign openly that foreigners were taking the jobs that South Africa people could do.
Did you guys hear that? So Ramaphosa, Ramaphosa was playing politics, saying that the jobs of South Africans were being taken by immigrants, but he forgets to mention that the businessmen, the South African businessmen, were trying to undercut South African workers. So he didn't. That part he went quiet about, and I think South Africans need to understand that. And that is one of the things that was many South Africans must understand about this. Let us proceed a bit more. Go ahead.
This is why his hands and his legs are tied. What is my response? These Nigerians who are in South Africa, they are not there on holiday. They are there to work and to earn. And what kind of job they are doing? There are two categories. Many are traders. Others are doing maybe some high-skilled jobs. So my view is that it is time to reciprocate. This Senate should adopt a position that MTN, a South African company that is cutting away millions of dollars from Nigeria every day, that Nigeria nationalize it and withdraw its license, so that Nigerian company can take over the MTN business and recruit more people. Those coming from South Africa will find good jobs working with the company that will replace MTN. And I know that South African president has interest in MTN. The second is that we ask the Minister of Communication of the federal government to revoke the DSTV, which is also a South African company that is cutting away millions of dollars, even abusing, resorting to practices that will not even be accepted in South Africa. I don't want this Senate to be shedding tears, to sympathize with those who have died. We didn't come here to shed tears, and I'm not going to shed tears. If you hit me, I hit you. I think it is appropriate in diplomacy. It's an economic struggle. What the black South Africans are saying is that Nigerians are taking their jobs. Okay, Nigerians, come home. I take over the job of MTN. Nigerians, come home. I take over the job of DSTV. When we hit back, the president of South Africa will not only talk, he will go on his knees to recognize that Nigerians cannot be treated, and we do not condone any one life being lost. If a crime has been committed under South African law, they have a right to bring any sort of person to justice. But to kill our people as if we are helpless, we are not. By the time we turn in the economy hardship, we withdraw MTN license, we revoke DSTV license. Those people coming from Nigeria, from South Africa, will have good jobs to do. Let South Africa continue with their jobs. Then when we have this balance of madness, I believe there will be sanity. I will kick our bilateral relationship in a manner that is a win-win. Right now, Nigeria trade deficit with South Africa. South Africa is the one benefiting. So my colleagues, let not turn this place a place of mourning and crying and lamenting. Let us fight in a manner that they will be the one begging. I so hold and I persuade my colleagues that when we come to prayers, we should include these two prayers: that MTN license be withdrawn, that DSTV license be withdrawn. There are Nigerians who can provide those services, and they will employ those who are coming back home from South Africa. You bite me once, I bite you twice. Thank you, Mr. President. Thank you.
Yeah, so you had it there. I mean, that was forthright. The truth, it's like it's like what you said. The guy was not taking. He said you bite him. You is exactly what you said. The truth, and I actually think on a pragmatic level, I think that's what needs to happen to a certain extent. But I still think that we shouldn't lose sight. We shouldn't lose sight of the bigger picture, because if we do that, then we are giving the people who, if we do that fully, then we are giving those who are still holding on to 73% of the farmland the right to keep, the okay to keep it. So we need to, what we have to try and do is, we may even still take out some of those actions to pressure them, I suppose. But we are going to, I would like to say, we should urge South Africans to actually confront the underlying issue. This 73% of the farmland is something that they can no longer afford to be happening in their land.
Sorry.
Yeah, go ahead.
Sorry.
Go ahead.
Can I just say something in less than a minute?
Go ahead.
Please go and mark the date of today. Do you know what is happening behind? Apartheid is coming back again to South Africa. Very soon, very soon.
But apartheid, I just want to add, apartheid never ended. What was given was the illusion of freedom, because what was apartheid? It was about policies. Because why, if apartheid was ended, why is it 80% of the wealth is still on the hands of the same people that are?
I'm coming to a point.
Very good point.
Yeah,
very good point. Yeah,
I'm coming to a point. What you said is quite right. So what I'm trying to tell you is, at the surface, for those clueless South African, some of them, and those South Africans that went through 4 wars of education, but education never really passed through them, and the Dudulas, they're like stone where you pour water and does not absorb the water. So I think what is happening is the Muzungu, the Boers, the Muzungu, they're instigating these people into violence, and this South Africans that work on their muscles and they don't engage their brains before they work on their muscles, they are going to chase the Africans that is going to fight for them. And now they will now cover South Africa and they start giving them buzzwords. Apartheid is going to reoccur again. And now the other African countries are going to leave them alone and they will start doing what they did before. But where I'm coming from right now, my brother, it's not only on South Africa. Listen, we as Nigerians, we should keep our ethnic problem aside now. Whether you are Igbo, Hausa, Yoruba, what part, Bini, Cross River, what you call the other, Nupe, Gwari, whatever you come from in Nigeria, we should put our differences on the side. And we should make sure that Nigeria come first before any individuals, and the Nigerians are citizens. So now, Where I'm about is, as South African come, we need to make sure South African get this. Any other country that is coming to act in like South Africa, like France, America, Germans, Swiss, they would get woto from us. We don't give a crap. We should not be backing down. We should now listen. You see all those rat heads, all these our leaders that are clueless. We use this same anger, pursue every one of them. Those people they chop money, we need to hold them accountable. All their children, where they abroad, they go school, they drive Ferrari. We catch their children, we go give them what. Go tell your papa the money where don't thief, where they send you to school so that you go get them. It's time for Nigeria now to wake up and synthesize the whole Nigeria. Now is Operation Clean Nigeria up. Operation Clean Nigeria. If you thief money, we know we go come catch you. This is the time, my brother. We need to clean Nigeria. We clean and we take broom, take soap, water, not even normal soap. This black soap,
Yes.
and not sponge. We go and take what you call it, coconut.
Yes.
When you cut the coconut, the other remaining we take and scrub Nigeria to be bling bling.
Yes,
This
sir.
is the time to clean Nigeria totally. They've woken up a sleeping lion, not even giant, lion. We get teeth, Uduma. They don't wake us up. So now we use this same force to make sure we clean Nigeria. If you do bad thing for Nigeria, you see your brother where they do bad thing. Don't say because he's your brother, you want to favor, go and report him, they catch him. All those people they do bad thing, we know them. All these people they call them Boko Haram. Look, all these people from the north, they know who be the Boko Haram. They see them face to face. Go report them, we could catch them. It's time to clean Nigeria up. Operation Clean Nigeria is what is booming now. Anybody listening? Operation Clean Nigeria. Clean it very well. Clean it. We don't need, my brother. My last word I want to say, and I'm going to go down. We don't need for other people to change to fit our narratives as Nigerians. We need to change ourselves to fit our own narratives. And those people that are no good to us in Nigeria, we let them go. We don't wait to go and get validation from who now? Who? A whole Nigeria. Look, Nigeria back in the days with giants, we have everything we need. All these idiots come messed up the whole country. We're suffering today. Every time, even Mickey Mouse, when you say you're Nigeria, even Mickey Mouse will not get any level. Mickey Mouse could yap Nigerians everywhere we go. Nigerians are this, Nigerians and that. Why? Because we've been able to sell our own blockers for idiots we know what us. And now South Africa will come, Ghana will come. Very soon, the other one will come back. If we not use these people, make example, everybody will be jumping on us. Thank you, sir.
Wow. Thank you. Wow. These are words which are they are long in my memory now. They stored your words are said in my memory from two fronts. Number one, you're stating that with South Africa, we need to let them understand that they are going to be recolonized if they continue in this path. If they don't wake up, and this is a message, it is a direct message, listen, South Africans, this is a direct message. If you think that by you getting rid of immigrants, your quality of life is going to improve, you've got another thing coming. You are merely clearing the ground for your country, for your nation to be recolonized, and you to be recolonized again. Because if the DA party comes in, you are going to go through another set of recolonization without a shadow of doubt. But if you now make sure you put your foot down and make sure that 73% farmland comes back to your community, you guys will leave. That will be the end of poverty for South Africans, for Black South Africans. And that will bring about real equality. Because the injustice, somebody is taking your ancestors' land and they're making money from it. And they're telling you, oh, we are equal. We are all one nation. But you cannot get a job in your land. You cannot keep your family. You cannot, there's nothing like generational wealth for Black South Africans. Let me say that again. There is nothing like generational wealth for 80% of Black South Africans. it is time to make that change. So, after Africans, your problem are not immigrants. Your problem are the colonials who are still holding on to 73% of your farmland and the mineral resources. Those are your problems. You need to really focus on that. And now, turning to Nigeria, I really like what my brother said. In a way, what South Africa has done now is actually a wake-up call for us, because Nigerians, we've allowed ourselves and the nation, we've allowed those who are corrupt to drag the citizens through the mud. Now, the way that the world looks at Nigeria is with the eyes of a common thief, whereas they forget that the people who are the thieves are actually the politicians who are working with conglomerate companies to loot resources. They sell our resources on the cheap for a fast buck and leave our people poor in a land. Let me just make this clear to the world, the entire world. Nigeria has over 40 mineral resources, including gold, bitumen, gold, bitumen, oil, phosphate, kaolin, uranium, big resources. We got iron ore. I believe we have tin. These are, so by dint of the over 40 mineral resources in Nigeria, we should be one of the richest countries in the entire world, bar none. It is a shame on the politicians who are working for colonials, because they are the ones who are they're selling our resources on the cheap for a fast buck and leaving their people impoverished. And like my brother said, no joke, it's time for Nigeria to clean house. We must clean house. The question is, are you in? Which side are you on? Is the question we're asking. Which side are you on? Which side are you on? Because look at what they have done in Burkina Faso. Burkina Faso, 24 million people. They've got the largest hospital in the whole of West Africa. Shame on Nigeria. Shame on, I'll do another program and I'll show it. Shame on Nigeria. So I just want to just state that. So the truth, you hit the nail on the head, and that struck a chord with me. And I second what you said. Operation Clean Nigeria is a word I will be bringing. Hashtag. In fact, I'm going to do it now. Hashtag Operation Clean Nigeria, because we need to be saying this. With our full chest. With our full chest. We don't need any money from anybody. We don't need. Nigeria has everything it needs. We can stand alone. We have an entire economy on its own with over 230 million people. We can generate an economy all by ourselves. Let me quickly bring in 1 second, Zion. Let me just go to Muluku. You wanted to speak? Go ahead.
I wanted to say something quick when it comes to Nigeria and the geopolitics of Africa when it comes to controlling Africa and its resources. There's a book called The Looting Machine, how the imperialists load African resources, right?
Yeah.
If you want to control Africa in Central, you have to control Congo. If you want to control Africa in the North, you have to control Sudan.
Yeah.
They have successfully done it. We have Khartoum and Juba, right? Bro, you have echo.
Oh, 1 second. Sorry. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. So if you want to control Africa in the East, you have to control Ethiopia. If you want to control Africa in the West, you have to control Nigeria. So we have to understand how geopolitics actually work. So here's the thing. There's a gentleman by the name of Chinwezu Obike. He's a he's a writer in exile, right? He said in his book, The West and the Rest of Us, and he also mentioned Nigeria. Here's what he said. And that's not only Nigeria's problem. He said that the problem of Africa, even Dr. Kwame Nkrumah, Africa Must Unite, already highlighted the problem, right? He said our biggest issue, including Nigeria, is leadership, tribalism, and religion, right? I don't really talk about religion because we need political power and economic power, because without laws and economic power, you can't really enforce certain laws when it comes to religion. He said the biggest issue, that's according to him, the issue with Nigeria is the creation of Nigerian states. The British and its puppets intentionally, they formed Nigerian states to benefit external power. That is the facts. If you study the tribalism roots in Nigeria, the average Hausa, Igbo, Yoruba, they intermarry, they do business. Tribalism only exists among those elites. They brainwash the masses to divide them. So it's the same thing, because you see, why do you think the Western power, they're using Nigeria to weaken the IS? Because let's be honest, Nigerian military is the powerhouse, if not only in Africa, in the West Africa. That's a fact. So we have to be very careful how we say things and how we identify. I think my Niger people, they're gonna get through it. They're gonna get the things together, because like I would use this, like I'm gonna end by this. Frantz Fanon said, Africa is shaped like a weapon. Congo is like the trigger. If you pull the trigger, the whole thing would explode. Nigeria, Congo, Sudan, it's already gone. So if they get to Nigeria and Congo, that's why they're using religion to divide Nigeria.
Yeah.
No white man cares about Christian in Nigeria. But we also have, and I'm gonna leave you guys with this. You guys need to pay very close attention. United States, they're losing the momentum in the Gulf region. The petrodollar is dying. Guess the next target? It's gonna be Nigeria. Mark my word. If United States loses its power in the Gulf, they're gonna come to Nigeria. Where are you gonna get your oil?
Correct.
So we have to be very careful, and I yield.
Wow, well said. I think it's a message that's well understood. I have been banging on about this fact that, look, Nigeria, the US, the fact that they came to the USA, they're trying to come and help, and this religious whatever that they created is a ruse. It's a ruse to dig their heels into and embed themselves. But they will get a rude awakening, because the people no longer want to be colonized. The people understand that the levers of control of power of our governance is not within the shores of Nigeria, but outside, and they are controlling even the very government that we have in place by these colonial structures. So one thing is, we need to continue to deepen the awareness of people knowing their rights. One of the things that I'm doing on this platform is I translated the Nigerian Constitution as it is, as imperfect as it is. I've translated key sections of it into Yoruba language for my people, so that in our communities, people can begin to read their rights. They can begin to understand. Let me see if I can I change it? Sorry. If I can. Okay, it's a bit okay. Hang on. So they can begin to at least know their rights in the local language. One of the biggest thing is that people have been taught English and everything else. But when you go to the villages, Nigerians don't know. Yeah, I know they have boots on the ground. Yes. Nigerians do not know their rights in their local language. And it's only the elite, or the people who are slightly educated are the ones who can read. But there's not enough of them within the communities to effect the change of actually holding the government accountable. So having the constitution in our local language, which is what I've done now, I've translated literally some sections into Yoruba language, so that every community can begin to take action and hold their government to account. This is another part of the work that we're doing, and this is why it's very important when I'm saying to my fellow people who have, those of you watching me, please, I need you to go to my platform on YouTube and subscribe, because when you subscribe, what you do is you enable me the power to be able to actually go literally community by community and begin to hand out printed booklets like this in the local, it's in a local language. So I'll give you an example. In the Nigerian Constitution, it says section 14(2)(a) states, sovereignty belongs to the people of Nigeria, from whom the government through this constitution derives all its powers and authority. That's what it says in Nigerian Constitution. Thank you very much, African Revolution. Yes. But now when you go to the market, many of the women in the market, they don't understand what it means. But now, if I now say to them, as it is in this book here, as you can see, I don't know if I can, yeah, and I'm trying to, okay, it's not going to show there. Let me do one thing. I'll take this down 1 second. I want to just get, so you just get a sense of, there you go, I think. I don't know if, okay, does because of this green screen, it's a bit difficult. But anyway, so I'm going to read that to you. So in Yoruba language, what I read to you in English moments ago, in Yoruba goes like this. Abala kẹrìnlá ẹsẹ̀ kejì a, ó ti wà ní báyìí gẹ́gẹ́ bí ti kéde pé a, ìjọba jẹ́ ti àwọn ènìyàn Nàìjíríà láti ọ̀dọ̀ oníṣèjọba nípasẹ̀ òfin orílẹ̀-èdè yìí gba gbogbo agbára àti àṣẹ rẹ̀, which simply means, and I reiterate again, 14(2)(a), sovereignty belongs to the people of Nigeria, from whom the government, through this constitution, derives all its powers and authority. That means that now the people now, with that knowledge, knowing that they possess the power in their own local language, they are Alade, Oba Alashe, and Adeori. They are the people that possess the real power. They can use that power to now begin to hold their elected officials accountable to them about where the funds that they receive on a monthly basis are going. So that's what we need to do. So this is the work that I really need the support. Everybody watching me, please share that. Help me by going to my YouTube channel, Citizen AY, and subscribe. When we can get to 20, 30, 40,000 subscribers, there is a lot of work that I will be doing within those communities to actually in Yoruba land. And I want also for Igbo, my Igbo brothers to have the same thing. I want the people in the people in Middle Belt to have the same thing, because that is how the active participation on the ground is what is going to change. When we have active participation on ground, the colonials will not have a leg. They will not have a foothold anywhere in Nigeria. I guarantee you. But anyway, that's my pitch. I hope you find that interesting. Let's hear from somebody who wants to say something. Nature Lover, go ahead. Go ahead. Let's hear from you. Nature Lover, go ahead.
Okay, thank you so much. And thank you for everyone, because I'm actually learning a lot of things here. And then one thing I want to say is, as you are saying that we should spread the local language, which is the very biggest and good idea. But you know one thing too, we should focus on. You see, I think the politicians have seen that. In fact, if I say most of the people are not awakening, I'm lying. They are awakening. By using the Sahel, you will see the people are always awakening. But the different way we should tackle is, anytime these people wake up against their government, they started buying them so that the rest of them will scared and run into their rooms. I'm telling you, that's the problem. But the people themselves know that the government are not, the politicians are not doing the job, and they are angry right now in the Africa right now, as we are talking right now. The politicians are by themselves. The people are the democratically elected so-called democracy. They are saying their leaders are by themselves. They are alone. In fact, majority of the people are away from them. They are far away from them. Everybody is focusing on Sahel. Why is it that everybody is clapping for Sahel? You yourself, you can witness that the people are awakening. But these people, what the colonial masters told them is that if they try to rise against you make sure you buy 2 or 3 of them. Look at what happened in Kenya. Look at the number of people they buy. Look at what happened in Tanzania.
Mm.
Look at that woman, the number of people you buy, and then at the end of it, we hear nothing. The people are always trying, but these people develop that kind of strategy that we're going to buy them. If we keep buying them, you see, the democracy, these people we have in Africa, you know, they're not like the European leaders who scared of, are buying their citizens for protesting. These people are barbaric. These so-called democratic leaders we have. So if we can find a means and way to tackle it, in fact, it will help us, because if you move out, they're gonna buy you. You know.
This guy's here.
So I think that is the other problem. We have to find means and way how we're gonna tackle these people, so that even if they buy, and what are we going to do to break that thing, that buy, and still go after them? I tell you, this democracy can never help us. Just like Ibrahim Traore said, is nothing. No matter how the people are awakened, they will always use their power as a tool to scare you, and majority of us will run away and leave them continue whatever they are doing. That's what I just want to say.
Very good point, Nature Lover. I think it's a very good point you raise. Very, very good point. Here's my take on what you said, and it is a very, very valid point that has to be addressed head on. Yes, I'm talking about, as it stands now, how to empower the people with that knowledge. Now, there's going to be pushback, like you said, but I'm hoping that in that knowledge, in that time, more and more nations will do exactly what AES have done. And it is already going to happen. A lot of African countries are very afraid that one day they're going to wake up and they will have leaders who are going to do exactly what Ibrahim Traore, Assimi Goïta, General Chani has done. They are all afraid of that. So, and also, everybody now knows that democracy is the bedrock of corruption and oppression and exploitation. Yes, I said it. Democracy, as practiced in Nigeria, in Africa, is the bedrock of corruption, exploitation, and oppression. And that, that is a thing that no African wants. So they want, let me give you an example. In Burkina Faso, people sleep around roundabout at night to protect their president, to protect Captain Ibrahim Traore. I am sure that people, when you will see the right leader step up in places like Nigeria, in Benin and others, others will follow suit. They are protecting, the people are protected. Recently in Mali, when they tried to take out the Mali Assimi Goïta, people came out and chased those people out as well. They were supporting them. Likewise in Niger. So we don't need, I agree with you, we ultimately, at this point in time, I'm saying this now because currently what we have is this term democracy. But if we empower with the people with knowledge, they will be more certain about that they have an active role to participate in what is going on and dictate their own future. So it is like a stopgap, if you like. The ultimate goal is for us to have governance like these 3 men behind me. That is why you see them. Every time you see me on TikTok on my show, I will always have Ibrahim Traore, Assimi Goïta, General Chani, because they are representing the new Africa, that will birth a great nation, a great continent that will serve Africans. Africa must be for Africans. No ifs, no buts. African resources must serve Africans first. Long gone are those days now where resources meant for Africans are going out. That has got to turn. That has got to change. And we can borrow a leaf from Iran. Iran planned for 40 years. The US and the rest thought, oh, we got this. And look at what Iran did. In literally a matter of weeks, all of those set up they have all over all over the Mediterranean. They destroyed them all. And now look, America cannot afford to have their own base in the Gulf. Did you hear me? America cannot afford to have their own base in the Gulf because they know now that they are in hitting range of Iran. And that changes, they no longer have any power there. They don't. Why am I saying this? There is a message in there for Africa. I'm not going to say too much more. There is a message in there for Africa. So, my brother, I agree with you. Let me just put Clyde Shelton wants to say something. I'm not quite sure. Let's hear from him. I'm not quite sure. Nevis, I think you've spoken. Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead, Clyde. Greetings. What would you like to say?
How's it going, brother?
Good thing. Good things. Nice one. What would you like to say? Oh, thank you. Go ahead.
And basically, yeah, man, he said America's got nothing to do with the Gulf and everything. I think that was the true agenda. To be honest, they're trying to put, I think, the state of Israel as the new hierarchies in the Middle East. The Saudi Arabia is going to get put down economically by the UAE because UAE has left OPEC, which means now they can pump as much oil as they want, which will cause a devastation on Saudi Arabia's economy. Saudi Arabia's economy lives off 9% of the oil.
Yeah, but the problem now is even Israel, if Israel makes too much noise now, Iran can deal with it. You know that? Iran can deal with it big time now.
Iran wants to be part of the table so they can continue to do business with China and sell their oil. I believe Iran and Israel are playing a fake fight. You know, when you're fake fighting each other, but the real fight is to bring down the Gulf and their architecture, what they built. And the only way to bring it down is to cause disturbance. I think Iran and Israel will continue to go on. Iran will be damaged, and all they want from Iran is there's a Jewish community which live in Iran, which they want to move to Israel. And the only way to move them from Iran is to make Iran disturbed. I know, bro, you don't know about that.
I've known that this is the thing about what they say about Iran. Iran actually allows other faiths, and I've known that Iran has got a Jewish community, not just quite a few of them in Iran. But the thing is, I don't necessarily buy into that analogy because the idea is the problem right now. The dollar, and like my brother, somebody has said, the dollar is no longer reigning supreme in the Middle East any longer because Iran has now demanded for the petrol to be paid, in yuan. And if you're going to go through Hormuz, you will have to pay Iranian money to get through, which means you will have to go and trade for that money. You'll have to, whatever currency you bring has to go into Iran. They will get their commission and all of that. And they've earned that right because they faced down America and Israel. So for me, I think
economically, they don't control anything. So I don't feel like they're gonna.
Well, hang on. I don't think you understood what I'm saying. They are, for the first time now, they are forced. America is now considering strongly about returning the money they've taken, the billions they've taken away from Iran because of sanctions. And they told them, you will not get your oil through here if you do not pay us, and we will not agree to anything. So they have the US on. They have control of the US, and this has changed the game. And don't forget, Iran is supported by Russia and China. They're not showing their hand, but they are. And that is why you will see that when Iran said you pay for going through, if you're going to go through Hormuz with your oil, petrol, it has to be paid for in yuan. So this is what I'm not quite sure.
But they're just not showing it.
Well, okay. Well, only time will tell. Only time will tell. I mean, we'll come and cover that. We'll cover that at another time. But right now, thank you for insight. It's interesting to get different view. I wouldn't rule it out, but I'm pretty much sure the reading of what I'm reading, And right now, the US has lost, the US hegemony is gone. But you will not see it now. You see, it's like the US is like a sheep. Once it starts leaking, taking in water, you will not see it, the water coming in. But it will be when it's gone like 2-3 miles, which is like 4, 5, 6 years down the line, then you will start see it tanking. It will start, and that is what is happening to US now. And every step they make now, they will be making more mistakes. They'll just be making more mistakes, because
America was already going down what they already agreed for all their major companies to move to Jerusalem. All the major companies, if anyone doesn't know, Facebook, all the Silicon Valley companies, they're all moving to Jerusalem.
But
So
not anymore now. Not anymore now, because now they haven't even got oil to move anywhere. They've not got any oil to make any more changes anywhere. Because have you noticed our oil prices? Because of the Hormuz, all of their business ideas. In fact, did you know that in the Gulf, they had Amazon and all these companies had all of their all of this AI stuff and web and depots and everything else. Many companies were in the Gulf. Now with all of this, now they can't stay there because there's no business there. So
they stretched their map. If we didn't notice, while they was fighting Iran, they stretched their map to South Lebanon. In this whole process of war, Israel has still been progressing with all of this.
Yeah, but you see, this is. I think you will find that Israel is living on borrowed time. If they try anything against Israel, Iran now, they'll just get. Well, they know what's coming. They know what's coming. They've not. Why is it that? Why do you think that Israel is not? Is refusing to show us real pictures of what is going on ground in Israel right now? Because they've got a lot of damage, but they're still trying to project something else. But if they do it the next time now, if the US can't come back and do something, well, Iran will finish the job. I think Iran has just become the major superpower.
Who does it favor, if you think?
It doesn't favor anybody, but the person that will benefit out of it right now is Iran, because they hold all the levers. And don't forget, the US doesn't even have enough weapons to be able to be sending to support the hegemony that they put in place in Gulf. They don't. So however you look at this, Israel is on borrowed time. However you look at it.
Prime Minister said, after I'm done dealing with basically Palestine, conquering Palestine, I'm moving on to Africa.
Well, I had, but listen, all of this, just watch. You just watch what's going to happen. Let's not forget that what they try to do.
The 55th country.
The thing you have to bear in mind is, Russia is there now with AES, and just watch. That's all I'm going to say. Listen, I will talk more about that later on, because I don't want to. I feel I'm going away from the main topic here. But thank you for bringing that topic on. It's interesting. We would like to, we'll develop that at another time. But thank you so much. Yeah, thank you. So what I want to say quickly, guys, I think it's almost 11. It's almost how many hours now? Oh, almost 3 hours. So listen, thank you so much for each and every one of you. Zion Selassie, Mukulu Congo, Nature Lover, thank you so much. Nevet Nkuna, I don't know if you've spoken. Have you spoken? Have you spoken, Nevet? I don't know if have you spoken?
No, he didn't speak. He didn't speak. You have to let him speak.
Sorry, that's what I'm saying now. Yeah, that's why I was. Nevet, please go ahead and speak. So apologies, sorry. I wasn't sure.
Can you hear me?
Loud and clear, loud and clear.
Okay, I've been listening, guys, and I was like, you know what, I'm not gonna disturb. I'm just gonna wait for my turn.
Apologies.
Have you guys have spoken about Nigeria, the type issues that you guys wanna come up with? But again, now if I were to listen to what things were said about South Africans and all that, Guys, there's a lot of things that maybe most of you out there, you don't understand what's going on in South Africa. But I just want to clarify one or two things.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
If we were to look at our African brothers and their plan when they arrive, when they come down to South Africa, we need to ask ourselves one question: are they coming to build economy with us, or they are coming to build themselves independently with the whites that they are saying that they are taking over the South African land per se? Because like if we check properly, they are not coming to build with the South Africans. They're coming with the actually with the mentality of coming to get jobs and build themselves as independently. I don't know if I'm making sense when I say that. Because like remember, they're not coming in to trade with South Africans still. Colonizing a country or the society, it doesn't mean that okay, fine, it has to be the whites. Some they can colonize you guys like as being as themselves, they are still being Africans, but they are coming to colonize you as well with those whites. Why do I say that? Imagine now, let's say there's a lot of citizens in South Africa that they are not employed. Now, most of the African brothers, they're flocking down to South Africa, but when they come here, it's not like they're coming here to bring maybe business ideas. We exchange trading together as Africans. But if you can look at that properly, they are not trading with South Africans. They are still going for the whites. If they're going to the black society, trust me, it's either maybe they are going to be opening church. That's still another way of colonizing those guys and holding them hostage. Opening churches, opening saloons. They're not going to trade with them. They're still going to get money from those South Africans that they are saying they are poor and they are weak. Now, if we can look at the level of lifestyle that we are living, the classes and all that, there are those who are very poor. Those ones are very, very, very gullible. They get deceived so easy. They believe anything that comes their way. If you can come and open a church and look, they'll flock to your church because, like, remember, they are hungry, they are looking for opportunity and all that because they're not even getting jobs.
I get that. I get that. I get everything you're saying. There's nothing in what you said now that I disagree with at all.
Okay, now you understand.
I definitely understand. And I mean, I'm not on ground, so I don't fully 100% get it. But here's my take on what I think is happening.
Okay.
One of the issues is when you look at immigration, the government is, some of the people in government, they are taking money to allow people in. That is definitely something that's happening.
No.
So
let me be with you on that one. I support that one. That's when you end up in what we call citizen arrest. We have that on our constitution. Because like we see what the government officials are doing. They are thinking for themselves.
So
when you end up citizens against our African brothers fighting on their own.
So I mean that is one area, for example. Now, the other thing to say is this: the government itself, they are playing politics, because when all of this problem is about to start, elections is about to start now in South Africa. So the government says, oh, immigrants are taking your jobs. When you vote us in next time, we will make sure that we ban immigrants. You see, the government is playing a game. And what you obviously know, this is what I would suggest that the knowledgeable South Africans like yourself do, that they have to make sure that they tell the communities, look, the government is playing a game with this. Yes, there are immigrants, but who are the ones giving them the papers? Who are the ones telling us to go and look at immigrants as the problem? They want us to vote for them, so that you can start breaking that up. You know this. I mean, already, I don't even have to, you know it. So there is a lot of work that you can do here. And by the way, if there's any illegal immigrants in your country, anybody selling powder to somebody else, they should be caught and sent back. I agree with that. I'm not going to argue. But what I'm saying to you is that the government is playing a game with you guys. And if you're not careful, because elections are coming. So, and this is what, if in Europe, that's what they do. They always, anytime it's coming to elections, they're talking about immigrants, because they want people to think we know the immigrants are there, but we're working on it. Vote us in next time, we'll get them out. It's the same thing they're doing. So don't fall for that, So,
but another problem that we're sitting on now, and then we don't know even what to do with it. You see, when it comes to the ruling party, we are all confused as a nation, because you will never know now who to trust anymore. They will only promise you 1, 2, and 3, but put them in power, and then you see.
That's the thing. My brother, you need to let's be very clear. I'll be very frank with you. The ruling party, ANC, since even from the days of Nelson Mandela, I'm sorry to say this, but you may find it tough. They've been controlled. They have been controlled from day one. You see, the land, they would never let, the reason why Nelson Mandela became a president was they said, you have to give up your claim to the land. That is why they came with the Truth and Reconciliation. And then the willing buyer, willing seller, all that nonsense. Because they wanted the land, they did not want the land to go back to the hands of you melanated black people. So we need to be very careful. Now, the thing is this: your government, Ramaphosa, is a puppet. I'm sorry to say it.
Big time. We can see that.
So the thing now is that your fellow South Africans, you guys need to have a meeting whereby you start telling the communities about what is really going on and let them know. And many people don't understand that. Many of your communities don't understand that 72% of your land, farmland, is still in the hands of those who are telling you that they're South Africans. If they're South Africans, they would make sure that all of the land goes back to the people that it belongs to. So they are. Sorry?
I just want to clarify something, especially on the one that you have just made now.
Yeah.
We see you see, like, if we were to think about the land on its own and we don't know what to do with it when we have it on our hand, I think that's a lesson that we have learned from our African brothers. So I think maybe with time, maybe it might change, and maybe you might see that, okay, fine, this one was actually beneficiary, but then at this point in time, what would you do if ever, like, you are that hungry and that low and you have no idea of what to do with the land when you get it on your hands?
1 second. Let me answer that. Before I answer that, I want you to listen to these words. I don't know if you've ever heard this before. In 1890, I'm just taking you back for a second. I want you to hear these words, and hopefully that will make sense. Let me see. 1 second. Let me see. Oh, 1 second, please. I've just lost it now.
Okay.
I just want to, here we go. Okay. I think, is that correct? 1 second, please. I've just seemed to have lost. There is a quote that I want to read from Cecil Rhodes. Cecil Rhodes said that we must get Africans, black people, to used to the fact that they will never ever own their land. They will be working as menial labor in their land, in their land. They will never be. 1 second. I'll just give me 1 second, please. I just need to say that to you now. There's so many quotes, and I have to remember which one it is. But the point is that he believes that black people will be only doing menial jobs. Please, what proportion of black people are doing menial jobs now in South Africa? Could you tell me?
Answer that one. Very diverse question that you're asking. Or I will give you a lot of it.
No, give me a rough figure. Just give me a rough figure. Rough. It doesn't have to be precise.
I can say 50 to 20% when it was out.
Right. And that is exactly what Cecil Rhodes was saying. That's what they planned. They planned that black people would be serving, would be only laborers. So the point I'm making is, when you're now talking about, oh, what are you going to do with the land? It is they've made you believe that you are not able to. This is the land of your ancestors. What was our people? You ask him a question in a minute, Dr. Lover. What was our people? What was our ancestors doing with the land before? Do you know?
That's a good question. You see, on our own, without the wives and all that, okay, fine. We seem like a fine one. Do you agree with me?
Say that again, please. Say that again, please.
We are doing fine without them, isn't it?
Yes.
Okay, fine. I agree with you. Now, let's look at the top African countries. If ever they are doing fine without the ones, because I think maybe the strategy that was taken, for an example, Zimbabwe. Zimbabwe is our neighbor country. I don't know whether if I should say they made a mistake by handling things differently, or maybe they've handled it the right way. But if ever it's the right way, are they doing fine at the moment as we're speaking now, or they are going back to that? They are going down to South Africa, to that same land that they're saying find the land is still colonized. Because like we're supposed to be learning from them, learning from top African countries. That okay, if I know what they have the land now on their hand and they are doing fine. But then if ever we're gonna be having our brothers from top Africa still flying down or flocking down to South Africa to try to make a living down there with us, with the same whites that are saying that they must leave the African soil to go back to England or wherever they're coming from, without making or trying to make a living with them. Because like, look at what we did. The strategy that we have taken, make a living with those guys. Find a way to start to maybe, if ever it's about the land, let's see how can you populate the land. Let's all be beneficial out of it. If ever it's about populating it, I can tell you that, okay, fine, with that one, I think they've outplayed us. And then Mandela is on top of that one. He sold us out. He sold us actually out long time ago. And some things we can never change them so easy at this point in time.
Okay. I okay. What?
Can I say something?
Yes, go ahead. Go ahead.
We are preparing you.
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead. Sorry, go ahead. Go ahead.
I wanted to say, Brother Nefitz, how about, instead of us to take the anger on the immigrants, because the immigrant, like it's just like when you make a door, when you make a door and you don't close it, the goat can enter, and you hire somebody to put the goat in there to close the door. So if you don't tell the person who always open the door and leave the door, the goat will always enter. You may end up by killing those goats. If you don't go and tell the person that you put there to be in charge of closing the door, the goat will keep on coming there, and you will keep killing innocent goat. Because whatever the goat see there, that's what they're coming in there. You know what I mean? So how about instead of you just to kill the goat, how many goats do you want to kill to unalive before?
Yeah, effort.
Your situation get your situation get actually the good result you want. So how about instead of us to try to go unalive our own brothers, how about if we would have take that anger and just go and tell the security man we put at the gate, hey, don't open the door.
You have a point. I support what you're saying, and I understand that very well.
How about that? No.
My bad.
Also, the reason why the land problem you have is land is like, because this
Am I still audible?
Yeah, we can hear you, but there's a bit of a noise in the background.
The land we are talking about. These people, they take, like, it's good that citizens ask you the question about the land, because the land is like, when these people were not there, we were not experiencing that kind of shortages of things. Every family have their own land, so they can even accommodate any African that come there. You understand? But now that these boys, they come there, they take about 80%. So a little bit of the African that will come there, you will see that you have problem accommodating your own visitors, who are your family people, So the major problem at this time is not because the boys are the reason why you are not getting enough space to accommodate your own family, When your family also visit you and there's no space and you're fighting with your family, you know what your family will do? You and your family will hate each other.
Yes.
And these boys don't care about you.
Mhm.
Remember, your family are the only one that can stand for you if this boy come back to attack you.
Yeah.
You know, and now they behave in a way that you and your cousin, you are no more talking. So now if the boy attack you, how are they going to help you? You know? So I'm not saying it's a good experience or something like that. I don't actually like illegal immigrants, but the people who enter there, they are not the problem. Let's attack the gate man, you know, because you are the one who opened the door. Whether you forget or whatever you do, hey, Massa, take care of the door. Next time, if the door comes, we will not give you your salary. How about that?
Good point.
Thank you.
No, thank you. No, thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you, Nature Lover. Nevet Nkuma, I want to just read something to you again. Nevet, are you there? Let me just unmute you. Nevet, can you hear me?
Yes, can you still hear me?
Okay, yes. I want to read this line to you. I don't know if you've had this before. So I'm going to read it to you. It says here, in 1890, Rhodes became prime minister of the Cape Colony. He introduced various acts of parliament to push black people from their lands and make way for industrial development. Rhodes' view was that black people needed to be driven off their lands to stimulate them to labor, to change their habits. Let me see. To stimulate them to change their habits, it must be brought home to them, Rhodes said, that in future, 9/10 of them will have to spend their lives in manual labor. And the sooner that is brought home to them, the better. Now, do you see why I asked you how much of your population is in manual labor? And you said 58% out of 80%. I think it's more like 60, 70. And the reason why that is happening is because of the land issue. They've restricted your movement, like Nature Lover said. That is the real issue. If the land was in your hand, you would not have any problem with immigrants because there's enough space there. The farmland, you would never go hungry. But that is what they've planned by Cecil Rhodes.
Two things, those. You see, with the gentleman that just spoke now, I think his nature is correct. He made a good point of most of the things that he was saying. But then another thing here is a thing here that we're encountering as South Africans. The manner of approach of all these issues that we have in South Africa is different, and that's the thing that makes us fight. Because imagine now, like if our brothers from top Africa, they are coming down this side, and then we feel like as South African citizens, we are now being ignored from the main reasons of saying, okay, fine, from the main problem of saying, okay, fine, there's a lot of poverty down here, and we are being ignored by our whoever's running the companies. Now they are hiring who? The employment is jumping to as we are saying about the cheap labor, the cheap trading. Are they not jumping to our African brothers and ignore us as citizens?
Of course they are. Of course they are. But look at, again, I say this.
Where come from?
I understand that. But that number, if you look at 73% of your land, that is your problem. If you get that land back, that means that those who are working, they are no longer going to be manual labor, they will be land owners. You need to get back your land because they made you, he said it, he said, we want them to, to know that in future, 9/10 of their lives will be spent in manual labor. So they have conditioned landowners to believe that they don't own the land. This is a psychological job. This is a psychological job. So we are saying that is what we need to understand, that the people must already know that this land belongs to me. We need to start treating them that, and we are going to get it back. If we don't do that, we are going to be breeding people who are going to be slaves to these colonials on your land. So that work has to be done, is what we're saying. That is the work that must be taken on collectively. I'm not saying immediately. Yes, the immigration thing, you can talk about it, but now this is a two-way. I would suggest the government must be confronted, because the government and the government are letting immigration officers do this nonsense that is happening. Secondly, they are using them they're using immigration as a tool to get themselves back into power. And of course, they are not dealing with the issue of the land, because, like I said, black South Africans are the ones who own the land, but they've now been made to believe that they don't have a right to that land by what this guy did all the way in 1897. So it is about really waking. It's a mental issue here. We need to really address. It can't happen overnight. Don't get me wrong. It's not going to happen overnight. But I'm hoping that by talking about it like this, we can begin to solve that problem, by talking. So it's a dialogue thing. It's a planning. And I do not for one second belittle the feelings of South Africans. I understand the feeling. I understand it. But I think we have to be very subtle in how we manage this. And I need you first.
Oh, gentlemen, thank you. I just thought I must just make few points.
Yes.
I think I understood and taken most of your suggestions and things that you guys said.
Thank you.
In consideration.
Thank you so much for joining us. And I'm going to follow you as well. So, yeah, thank you. Listen, have a pleasant evening. All right. Bye now. Okay. So, everybody, thank you. So, what a nice way to end this broadcast. We ended the broadcast with speaking directly to a South African. And we were able to come to a mutual understanding about what is going on. It is not a problem that can be solved easily. Don't get me wrong. It is a big issue. But if with the right management of this, the people on the ground, those who are the core manual labor, they have to be awoken to know that this land is theirs. That the 72% land is the land that is rightfully theirs, that they are landowners. They have to start thinking that they are landowners already, because it is their land and they're being denied that right. That is what they have to do. Now, quite how that happens, there might be a way of planning, and it's prepping. It's almost prepping them. And in a way, when we start waking people to recognize their true worth, we start dealing with the trauma. They start dealing with that trauma. So this is what we are trying to reach. Thank you very much, Lady Max. So there's more work to do, but I'm so glad that when we talked about things, and this is why, you see, those words, when those words came out, when I read the words, and I'm going to read it to everybody, I want you to have it in your mind. It says, Rhodes' view was that Black people needed to be driven off their land to stimulate to stimulate them to labor and to change their habits. So by changing their habits, they now no longer see themselves as landowners, but as laborers on the land of their ancestors. So exactly. So this is what we have to deal with. So when we wake them up, and they have to do this, I strongly suggest that they must tell them about this in the local language. It has to be done in the local language, so that we have given them strength to stand psychologically against the barrage of all of this colonial structure that's made them believe they have nothing, when everything is theirs. So that's one side. Now, on the immigration side, anybody that is illegal, I'm saying it, if you're a legal immigrant in South Africa, you shouldn't be there. Exactly. They don't know who their real enemy is. Thank you very much, Ebony. Thank you for saying that. I'm so glad that you spoke. I'll bring you on next time. It's just I'm going to wrap up now. So it's about identifying the real enemy, because now they are taking. I mean, they went and they're wearing Zulu war native native war clothes to go at immigrants. It's wrong. So but for now, so I'm so glad that we were able to have a meeting on minds, and you could see that he was thinking about what I was saying, and he was thinking, okay, this makes sense. And when I pointed him to that the government were using them as a tool, as a political tool, to get them to vote for them by pointing at immigrants, again, he got that. So these are, I think if we begin to do, we need to do more work. And I'm going to do more talks on South Africa. And again, of course, I welcome, so far, every time I've done a show, I've spoken to at least one South African. I've done it 3 times now. I've spoken to at least, on the first show, I think I spoke to about 4 people. On the one before, I spoke to another 6 or even more. Today, I think about 1. And I think it's because of my broadcast was restricted by TikTok. But listen, I thank everybody who joined me. I thank Lady Max 246. I thank Nevet. I thank Nature. I thank Mutulu Congo. I thank all the other people, too many to mention. And most of us as well. I thank my people who are Sinovia Ridley, Waris Jinodu, and who else? Kai, somebody called Kiran MC on YouTube. Please do me a favor, those of you watching me on both platforms, if you can share this to your family and friends and urge them to go and support me, subscribe to me on YouTube, Citizen AY. Help us grow the platform. Yeah. You know, so it is very, very important that we carry on with this work. And I'm so grateful for your time that you gave me in being able to join me during the live broadcast. I'll be back again real soon. One of the topics I'll be covering one topic in particular. I want to come and show you the insides of the new, we'll talk about the largest hospital in West Africa that's built in Bobo Dioulasso. That's another topic we'll talk about. And I might talk about that on its own and then maybe tag on the South African issue updates to that, you know. But yeah, anywhere they put their food, they never be the same. Why are they like that? Exactly. So good question indeed, Nature Lover. So I thank you all so much. This is where we will end the broadcast. Thank you so much for joining me. And please continue to don't, as ever, subscribe to us on YouTube. If you can subscribe on TikTok, that'd be good also, because we do need support. Like I said, this book here, this booklet I'm doing here, I talked about it for some time, and I'm glad I have it here. You can see the pages, and it will grow. Right now, I'm only putting key sections in it that I feel that people can use to begin to get drawn into knowing their rights. But that will grow as we go along with your support. So if you can subscribe to me on YouTube, subscribe on TikTok, maybe consider, you know, sponsoring what we're doing by subscription on a month-by-month basis on both platforms. I'll be really grateful, because we need to be doing this work on ground, you know, slowly but surely. But for now, I thank you so much for joining me. It's been a pleasure, and I hope you enjoyed it. Please do share the broadcast, and yeah, I'll be in touch again. For now, I say I bid you a good night, and I'll talk real soon. Thank you so much. Bye. Bye, guys. Yeah. Yeah. No. It's not Citizen. Yeah. The TikTok restricted my gift. Yes. See, not me. TikTok restricted it. So, but for now, thank you guys. Bye. Bye, guys. Bye. Bye, guys. Okay. So that's done. Okay, and those of you on YouTube, thank you so very much. I really appreciate you. Why did you not do? Thank you so much, my brother. I hope you enjoyed it. Please do share, and I encourage everybody watching me, please subscribe to Citizen AY on YouTube. Help us grow the platform. The more you share it, the more it helps the algorithm. I thank you also very much, and I'll see you all real soon. Bye for now. Bye.